Hello, welcome to Echoes in the Wind. We have a great show for you tonight. It's Go ahead, Kimmy. Sorry.
Oh, go ahead. Oh, you're fine. Hey, I'm Kimmy. Make sure to like, share, and follow us here on Paralinks, Texas Race Hunters, and Race Girls Nexus.
We have a great show for you tonight. I'm not with it, as you can tell. It is the Race Hunters.
Whoop whoop.
Hey guys,
Woo-hoo. Damn, that was a bad introduction.
it was beautiful. It was on point and everything.
I am just
Right.
not with it. I'm telling you.
The only thing that you missed were the trumpets.
Right. Uh-huh.
Doo-doo-doo, doo-doo-doo.
There you go. Now you
It was great, Dan.
What's up, Brian? Hey,
what up,
Liz.
B?
Hi, Liz.
Hey Liz.
Alyssa's here, huh?
The Liz is in the
Yeah.
house.
She's saying everybody. She's saying hello to
Mm-hmm.
everybody. She's the woman
She's
in
an
my ear.
awesome lady.
Yep,
Mhm.
she is.
Mm-hmm. Poor thing stays in Facebook jail from sharing out and
Yep.
being all
Yeah.
paranormal and
But we
Facebook's
figured,
always getting her. What thing?
mm-hmm.
So, Sydney,
yes, that's
I'm
me.
going to stick, I got to pop this under my tongue, my medicine. So I can't talk for a few minutes. But I want you, if you can, tell us your experience in that mystical forest,
Oh wow.
magical place. Okay? So I'm going to shut up while you talk.
um, it is truly a magical forest. I see why Anthony is so in love with it. I am actually becoming so in love with it. Um, so I got the honor and the privilege to go into the forest for the first time ever. I think it was a week or two ago, when Anthony came down, and I'm not gonna lie. Okay, so I believed everything Anthony's ever said about the forest, but I went in kind of like, we'll see what happens.
Right.
Hmm.
Um, we started going through portals, and he was like, "You have to open yourself up." So I started opening myself up to the forest, and it was literally like the best way to describe it is Alice in the Wonderland. Things were happening, stuff was coming alive. I was seeing things I never thought I'd see. Like in a million years, I never thought I'd see a fairy ever. And
Right.
I saw fairies and I saw duendes, which in Mexican culture, it's not a good thing to see. But even
Okay,
then,
Liz.
we, okay, Liz. And then, but even then, it's like, it's kind of like when your mom tells you not to do something and you want to do it anyways. Um, I've always wanted to see a duende, even though people told me don't go looking for them. So duende is another. It's the Mexican word for a gnome. Um, so I saw a couple gnomes. I saw some fairies. I saw what they call the gatekeepers, because there's different portals in this forest, and each one of them is guarded by a portal, like a watcher or a portal guard. And I saw them, and it was it was actually really magical. Like I so I was holding on to a lot of personal trauma, family related, and with like a previous team I was with. And we were all ready to just leave. And we're like, yeah, I saw Brandon Cooper in the forest. I did. I really did. Um, so we were getting ready to leave for the night. And I guess the forest was like, now's the time to let her heal. And I just started crying. And
Wow.
the guys were freaking out because it was me, Pete, Lurker, and Anthony. And they were looking at me like, what the hell's going on? And so after I had my cry, I finally told them why I was crying. I was like, I forgive my uncle for what he did. I forgive those girls for what they did. I forgive everything. And I think in exchange for letting go of that hurt and that grief and trusting the force, it gave me something back. Because since that day, anytime I think about the forest, anytime I dream about the forest, I get sick. And I think it's my abilities opening up a little more.
Mm.
The last time we went, I saw the Native Americans that were there. I saw the wives making their pottery. I could smell them cooking the food. I can see their husbands kind of like behind us on like a little cliff watching us. I could see the little kids running around. Hey,
What's
Anthony,
up?
speaking of Wraith. Um,
What's happening?
and we went yesterday to one part of the forest, and I could see it was so sad because there's this one part that we went to, like even talking about it gets me emotional. Um, I saw Native Americans getting sacrificed
Hey,
and getting
Debbie.
murdered and getting,
Really?
and I was, it was just, it was something like it was weird because the night before that, Anthony and Lurker went, and I was asleep, you know, wasn't even dreaming about nothing. And in my
Right.
dream, out of nowhere, I started getting chased.
Hey, Kim.
And then my stomach started to hurt, and I woke up. And when I woke up, something told me to grab my phone. And I grabbed my phone and I turned it on, and Lurker and Anthony were in the forest. Well, when we were there yesterday in that exact same spot, my stomach was hurting. I was nauseous. All those feelings started coming back. And then this morning, before I went to work, I had like 2 hours of sleep. I got sick again. And
Mm.
I was like, the first thing I did when I woke up was I thought about the forest. And I thought about everyone, making sure we were all okay. And then I got sick. And I
Wow.
texted Lurk, like the first person I texted was Lurker. I was like, dude, I got sick again. He's like, what do you mean? And I told him what was going on. And he was like, maybe your abilities are enhancing like my downloads. Because if y'all don't know, Lurker is the researcher of our group. So he comes out with like these brilliant, awesome experiments, which all have worked out phenomenal.
Mm-hmm.
The first, couple times he went in, up until now, he gets what he calls these downloads, and he gets like this weird stage where like he kind of like shuts down, and that's when he starts getting all of his ideas.
Thank you, Liz.
So it's a magical place. And I think it's trying to open me up more, and I think it's trying to enhance my gifts more, especially now that I know that my ancestry is Native American, and I'm showing interest in wanting to know that side of my family, that it's
Mm-hmm.
starting to heighten a lot more.
Mm-hmm.
So it's pretty cool.
Now, what do these gatekeepers look like? Are they native?
Oh, they're different. I've seen one where it's like a giant shadow person. I've seen one where he looks like. Uh, have you ever seen that musical Into the Woods, where like the big old monsters are like trees? They look like trees. Some of
Mm-hmm.
them look like trees, but with arms and legs and the body and the
Right.
head. Um, Others are Native Americans. So I guess it just depends on which portal you're going into.
Mm-hmm.
But you know they're there because from afar you can feel them watching you, and you can see them, and they'll actually move with you. Like we went to two different locations yesterday, and I looked over on the right, and there was someone squatting in the grass. And I said, "Do you see that?" And Pete goes, "Yeah." And that thing followed us for quite a while, and then it was gone. It was crazy.
Wow.
How tall were they, the gatekeepers?
They're tall,
Did you?
like
I mean,
taller
did you
than.
have any that were like 9 feet tall?
I want to say the tallest one I've seen has probably been like 7, 8 feet.
Wow.
Yeah, they're tall. These guys are
And
huge.
and they're and their whole general demeanor, are they white? Are they Native American? Are they dark?
So they blend in with whatever they're around. So, like yesterday when we went, there was also some kids because it's located right next to the Donkey Lady Bridge, and so that is known to have its own little history of San Antonio, its own urban legend. So of course, kids are going to go out there and be kids because who doesn't like to get scared? Um, I feel like the gatekeepers will take on the atmosphere. So if there's a portal next to a bunch of rocks, it'll take the shape of like a stone figure. Or in my case, has I seen them? In my case, like I've seen them, they look like trees, like giant tree people. So I think it just
Well,
depends on what they're around.
I was going to say that maybe the next time you have them come out and show themselves to you.
I have the last time we were there, I was asking them to present themselves, but I think the shamans were wanting to come out more.
Hey,
And hey,
Lurker.
Lurker, the shamans were wanting to come out more, and the fairies were wanting to come out more. The fairies were my fault though, because I did take candy this time. Anthony was laughing at me because I'm literally throwing candies as we're walking around, and he's like, "Are you really throwing candy?" And I'm like, "Shh, yes."
Boy, I'm really jealous that me and Reggie couldn't be there.
Y'all need to
But
come down.
well, I know, but it's really hard. It's going to be lucky if we make the tombstone thing in April.
Right.
If we even get the tombstone, and that would be me and Brandon,
Mm-hmm.
unless wants to go any further.
Come
You
on
know,
down to Texas. Come on down to our part of Texas.
I would just have to make sure that I'm all covered with all my treatments and
Yeah.
stuff that's going on, and be ready. You know,
Mm-hmm.
the way you have to be because you can't go in there unprepared.
Right.
Mm.
That's a
Right.
big one is not just the forest. I think that goes along with any location. You can't really go
Hmm.
into a place not 100% yourself.
All right. I'll have a
Um,
lot of time to as we're driving, but I like to do different things here too
yeah.
before I leave, and that's the best way I like to handle it. So
Mhm. I'm the exact same way. Like the whole time I was recovering after I had my tumor removed, I had this one person reach out to me. She's like, "Hey, how's your recovery going? Like, I know you had a tumor removed, yada yada yada." And then she was like, "I have a problem," and I said, "I'm going to stop you right there." I said, I'd love to help you. I love helping people, but I'm not 100% myself. And if I'm not 100% myself, there's no way I can help you. In all
Right.
honesty, I feel like if I were to try to help you, I would
Hey,
do more
Joe.
harm than good.
Yeah.
So
Mm-hmm.
we're not going to cross that until I'm 100% healed. I'm 100% myself, and I'm ready to help you.
how far along are you right now?
I'm 100% better. Except when your doctor tells you to do something, do it. I'm
Uh-oh.
supposed I was supposed to be doing a nasal rinse on my nose to keep it clear. Um, I did a whole month of not doing my nasal rinse, and so let's just say all this gunk up here is not really pretty.
Aw.
Yeah, but and then you have the whole rain, non-rain, cold, not cold that comes along with Texas. So this is just,
Mm-hmm.
ugh, it's gross.
So I want to hear about the glowing.
Oh, dude. Okay. So if y'all, thank you for bringing that up. If you watch some of the other podcasts that me and Anthony have been on since my first visit to the forest, he likes to joke about me and my flashlight. Okay, and there's a reason behind my flashlight, you guys. It's a personal reason that has to do with trauma that happened in my life, and I was
Hmm.
told I was told that whenever this happens, to use my flashlight because it would make the monsters go away. So that's why I always have a flashlight.
Mm-hmm.
So even now, as an adult, I still cannot sleep in a dark room. I have to have a nightlight. Um, Mine, now that I'm a big girl, it's it's in the shape of a what are they called? Himalayan pink salt lamp.
Oh, yeah.
That's my big girl lamp. But Anthony makes fun of me. He's like, "Yeah, Sydney's always blinding me with her flashlight. She's always like flashing it in my eyes." And I'm like, "No, I don't mean to. Like, I really don't." Um, this last time, yesterday, when we went into the forest, I only used my flashlight twice, and that was to show the viewers what I was seeing. But when I looked down as I was walking, everything around me was light. Like it was bright, like if there was a glow. And I turned and I looked at the boys because the boys were walking behind me. And I said, "Is anyone else glowing or is it just me?"
Mm.
And they're like, "No, it's just you." And Anthony goes,
Mm.
"I was just telling them to watch you as you walk. As I was walking in front of them, you can literally see my feet, like my footprints glow as I'm walking."
Mm.
And it was like that until we got out of the forest.
Wow.
It's like, what in the world? And then before before that, I had I was there's a giant tree right when you walk towards the trail to go into the forest. And I like to touch trees because I like to hear their stories.
Hey, Jonathan.
And so I was walking towards this tree to get its story, and Pete was just happening to snap pictures. And he snapped this picture with me walking in front of it, and I'm just like this bright white light.
Wow.
And he goes, "What the heck?" He goes, "Anthony, look at this." And Anthony goes, "Is that Sydney?" And he goes, "Look at this." He goes, "You just happen to walk right in front of my picture, in front of my camera as I was snapping a picture. But it looks, I wasn't wearing anything reflective. I didn't have anything shiny on me. I was wearing a black shirt. I had my black necklace on. Like I was all in black. But
Mm.
on this picture, I'm a streak of bright light."
Wow.
That's crazy. Well, even
Hmm.
there's a part where before y'all went to the forest, y'all were at a mission, I think,
Mm-hmm.
right? And y'all were at this swale, I'm assuming, and
Mm-hmm.
you, I guess you got that it looks like a light, but it's
Mm-hmm.
motion censored, I'm guessing, right?
So it's called a paralantern. So it
Okay.
works like an EMF meter. So basically, it picks up electromagnetic field. So anytime something goes near it, it can set off the lights and make it change colors.
Right.
So I turned it on and I set it on the well, and I said I tapped on the lid and I said, "Hey, if anyone's down there and you want to touch my light, you can." And I said, "Just touch it like this," and I barely put my finger on top of the thing and it lights up to blue. And then I was like, let me show them that that was not me. So if you go and watch the clip again, I touch it again and it doesn't go to any color. It stays to the baseline of pink because it goes
Right.
pink, blue, green, orange, and red.
Whose machine was it?
Mine.
No, I mean the manufacturer.
Um, uh, North. Hold on. I always butcher their name.
No, that's okay. You can tell me later on. I was just curious because a lot
Oh
of
no.
people like combinations.
If I don't tell you now, it's gonna kill me.
Okay.
It's a NCPD Paranormal, so it's North Campton Paranormal Detectives.
North Camden,
Campton, North
Campton,
Canton, CA.
Canton.
Yes,
So is that Ohio?
I think so. I'm not good with my stuff, but it looks like this.
Okay.
I
I
would
like
show
that.
you the real deal, but it's in the car. because I
Yeah.
didn't take off my bag. As soon as, we were walking for like what seemed ever, and I looked at the time and I was like, shit, it's 2 o'clock in the morning. And the guys are like, what? And I said, I have to be at work at 8:30. It's an hour drive from here to my house.
Oh,
So I didn't get home till 4.
Wow.
Yeah, but you're all pumped up. You know that's the difference between when you don't have any sleep and when you're pumped up.
Oh my God, it was. I got home, text everyone, hey, I'm home. I was gonna take a shower, but I like sat down on the couch, passed out, set my alarm for 7. So then at 7 o'clock, I
Aw.
woke up, took a shower, ate something, went to work. I'm so glad it was raining here today because it was so slow.
You didn't have to deal with all those idiots.
No.
Good.
I was like, yes, I hope it stays like this all
You
day.
never
Thank you,
think
Liz.
there was anything that was called a stupid question. And I've always said there's no such thing. Well, I know better. I know
That's
better.
true.
And that was probably 30 years of retail, about 16 with Bass Pro Shop at the end, and everything was just. It was like, what? What did you just say? You know, it's like, and they look at me. Well, he's an old army guy. He doesn't know any better. You know, it's like,
At my store, my favorite question is, where's the bread? And then you just point and they
Yeah.
turn and they're like, oh,
oh, it was here the whole time.
yeah.
who put
Did
that
you just
there?
move it or what?
Oh, the best working at grocery stores when during the holidays and they call and they're like, "Are you open?" No, I just randomly answering phones for
Yeah,
them.
I'm just spending
Just
Christmas
randomly
here.
answer phone.
Oh God.
I remember, I know we just like jumped off track, but I have to say this. I remember just last year when was it last year or this year? Last year that we had like the solar eclipse. Well,
Oh, yeah.
our store got like a certain amount of solar glasses. And so we completely sold out of our
Right.
solar eclipse glasses. And so after we were completely sold out, I was like, watch, people are still going to call and ask if we have them. Sure enough, do y'all have eclipse glasses? Do y'all have eclipse glasses? Do y'all have... So I finally got tired of it, right? So I answered the phone and I said, thank you for calling HEB. I'm sorry, we're all out of solar eclipse glasses. And then all you hear is, click. I was like, of
It's
course.
awful. Y'all just
I
don't
love you too.
know. Working at a grocery store. Ugh.
In a little bit.
Peter's on the road more times than he's not. You know that?
Well, come sit with me on lunch. And then I'll wake you up.
And he doesn't have his Phantom Menace hat on, his mask.
Nope, not right now. Not till later.
Well, you know what? I would keep it off as much as you possibly could because you're one good-looking guy. You know,
You're one good looking guy.
right,
You're
Kimmy?
one good
Right, Donna?
looking guy.
Right.
One good looking
Sydney,
guy.
Sydney thinks he's a good-looking guy too.
He
Yeah.
is.
I am sort of like this, you know. I'm not in the guys, so
I'm not into guys. I mean,
you're still
2024.
It's I know. Well, you know where I come from.
Yeah.
You know my background, so I mean it's a lot different with me. I have to choose my words wisely, and sometimes I don't do that.
Hey,
I hope I
Life's too
didn't
short
say-
to choose your words wisely. Say what you
Yeah,
want to
I
say.
just don't. Sometimes I just, and if I hope I didn't offend anybody. I didn't mean to.
Mm.
What do you think, Sydney? You're going to electrocute me?
not at all.
I thought she was going to say, okay, handcuffs. We're going,
Right.
you're going
Pete
to the
needs his
chair.
purple light in his
We're
truck.
going to timeout.
It's
What
in
do
the
you
back
think
seat
about
somewhere.
what?
My purple light's in the back seat somewhere.
You better get it out because you'll scare the hell out of somebody going down the road
He's
with
gonna
that
like
light on.
Get it and like
Yeah,
put it on the hood of his car, like on the roof of his truck.
inside. You'd have everybody. They'd be running off the road.
Right.
Crazy.
Kim says,
Who
"Don't
the
worry
hell
about
did-
offending anyone."
Not on this show.
I just started watching another B grade movie that's called UFO.
Mm-hmm.
And I just saw it, and it was all on Facebook. And I thought, some of the best movies I've seen in the last year and a half are all they're not really big releases. They're the B grade movies that deal really with the subjects we deal with,
Yeah,
And it's like, wow, they're right on the money.
they are. They are. Some of those like low budget movies are some of the best ones. Like, for instance, Suspiria. I've never seen that movie before in my life. I didn't even know it was a thing until I met Israel Rico, which is the guy I did a podcast with last week. He was like, "Oh, you can find it on these platforms," and I found it on Tubi. So I watched it, and I was like, "Whoa!" Like, it was scary, but it was scary in like the sense of like, how can I say this? Like, it was one of those old classic horror movies where it's like, yeah, back then as a kid, I understand why it was scary. As to why now you're just like, wow, these graphics are like awesome but awful at the same time.
Right. You're like, why did that scare me when I was a kid?
Yeah. But the music soundtrack to that movie is amazing. Like, I fell in love with the intro to that movie. I have it on repeat on my phone, and every once in a while I'll listen to it.
You have to share that on our group page.
Oh, I will.
You know what I mean?
Really
because
cool.
That's the same thing with this UFO one. It's like, and it's two college kids.
That's crazy.
And one of them is a mathematic wizard. And there's a universal number.
Mm-hmm.
And it's crazy.
We should have Lurker make a movie with his experiments in the paranormal and see how many hits we get.
I'm still waiting for him. I'm gonna have him come on the show, just on my show, just so I can see his experiments, because I keep on missing them.
So we did one yesterday on the live. So there's one that he calls the Ruklu method, which is Lurker backwards. So it's Pictionary. So he pulls out his tablet, and we went into this old house. I want to say it belonged to a blacksmith, because when I walked in, I saw the blacksmith, I saw his kid, I saw the table, I saw the fire in the fireplace, like I saw them, like everything going on. But in reality, it was pitch black with a single chair inside. But that's what I had saw. And so he pulled out his tablet and he said, "Okay, Spirit, we're going to play the Ruklu method." And he drew a star on his tablet. Hey, Papa Ray. He drew a star on his tablet and he said, "Okay, spirits, can you tell me what this is?" Right off the bat, they said a star.
Wow.
He goes to the next shape and he draws a cup. And he says, "Okay, Spirit, can you tell me what this is? It's something that you use." And you wait for a while and then you hear cup. And then Lurker got even a little more like, I'm going to challenge these spirits. And he drew a picture of a toast. He drew a picture of bread with a little square to symbolize butter. And he said, "Okay, Spirit, this is something you eat every morning. What is it?" And he gets quiet, real quiet. And then finally you hear toast. Or you hear bread. He heard bread. And I was like, oh my gosh.
Wow.
It was.
See, when they get quiet like that, when they get quiet and they think, that's just showing you that the way I'm trying to think. They're smart spirits.
Mm-hmm.
And they're thinking. You know what I mean?
And we use the Necrophonics app. So I know when you hear app, you're like, oh, well, there you go. It's rigged. It's all made up. this thing, you cannot, there's no way you can modify it to put what you want it to say. It works just like an AM FM radio, so it sweeps constantly, constantly, constantly. I've messed with so many white noise machine apps and like voice apps. Not once have I ever heard an app go complete silent for a long period of time, and then spirits start talking again.
Yeah,
Right.
they're so intelligent.
Oh, I forgot my feather.
Oh, and Anthony got a feather.
Yeah,
my-
he showed me.
Oh wow.
I left it in
So
the
does it feel like the other one? Like, you know how you said you feel it and it feels like that magic kind
I
of
haven't had
feeling?
time to mess with it yet.
Oh,
I had to
What
go.
kind?
I had
What
to go
kind
in the,
of? What,
I had to go in the basement to get it.
what
I
kind of
don't like
feather
that
is it?
place.
I have no idea. It's a black one.
yeah, it's
Like
different.
Rogue, maybe?
Well, it's
That's
at
what
the
I thought.
it's at the basement. It was in the basement of that house. You had to
It's
jump
a
down.
big one, though.
You had to jump
It
down,
was big.
maybe like a couple of feet to the steps, and then walk down into the basement.
We don't know, Kim.
Yeah,
We're trying to figure that out. So
whatever kind of bird it was, it's
What's up, Kim?
big.
it was
Hmm.
big. It was a big feather.
Yeah.
Maybe
Yeah.
a vulture.
So you think that's why the house was calling for you to go there?
Well,
Yeah.
yeah. Well, kind of. I mean, they wanted to check out that house. I said that that basement was kind of hard to get into because it's kind of like just like a hole. It doesn't. It's because it's old. Yeah, but Pete pushed me down there, so I was able to get it.
He pushed you.
Funny.
See, this is the second time we've seen you where we can see your eyes.
So how did you get out?
My eyes.
Yeah, you got to have the.
Well,
your
I
captain
can't
down.
because this camera on this thing here is like that.
I know.
So
I'm just-
he pushed you down. Did he pull you back up?
Yeah.
Oh my
Yeah,
god.
you said you're gonna get yourself out of it.
he says he was
Oh.
trying to kill. He was trying to kill Anthony.
Yeah.
He just left you there.
So that
Feed him
house
to the
was
snakes in the basement.
pretty much calling you guys to
I was
that
calling
house.
them, not me.
I did zone
Yeah.
out at the steps when I was going because nobody went upstairs but me. Everybody was
Oh, wow.
outside or
I
having a cookout or
couldn't. I couldn't. Okay, so the reason I'm sorry, Papa Ray. I had to leave. I couldn't stay in that place because we went into this one room that had a mirror, a tall, long mirror.
Oh
And as soon as we
There
walked
was
in
a
that
mirror?
room,
Oh yeah.
as soon as we walked in this room, I see the old man right here, and he's just, oh, he's so angry that we're in there. And
Really?
Mr. Wraith, yes, Mr. Papa Wraith over here was like, "Ooh, look at this mirror, y'all guys, come look inside this mirror." I said, "I don't need to look in the mirror to know what's in here. He's standing right
Mm.
there. I can feel
Yeah.
him. I can see him. He wants us out."
Hmm.
And in that
I wasn't even-
instant, I
I wasn't
felt
even explaining it to Sydney.
in that
Was he
instant I felt
native?
everything. No,
Nope.
he was a white man, an angry
Wow.
old white man.
An
And
angry
in that-
old white man.
No, but I mean, no, I mean like he. Best way I can describe him, how I saw him. Oh, I don't even. Okay, so I don't know if anyone else got like the full envision of what he looked like. I know Anthony did because Anthony saw him. He like popped right in front of Anthony's face. But when I saw him, he was a tall white guy, a little bit of facial hair. He was kind of like hunched over, like kind of like leaning towards us to see what we were doing. He was wearing jeans, boots, like brown
Suspenders.
boots, suspenders, and he had this face of like just pure like madness and evilness. Like he was just so like he did not want us there. And the minute I saw him, I felt everything around me starting to close in. And I immediately told Pete, I said, I can't be in here. I need to get out. Like, I need to get out. And I booked it. I was like, nope, I'm sorry, but I can't. I don't want to. And then later on, Pete told
And they stood
me,
inside.
yeah, later on, Pete told me that him and Anthony were walking up the steps. And Anthony turns and looks at Pete and says, who are you?
Ooh.
And Pete goes, dude, don't bullshit with me. Like, don't play with me like that. But Pete said that he did not look like himself.
Wow.
And that's one thing that you will notice with Anthony is he's so attached to the forest. He's so attached to these places that when he gets there, he's not the same person we all know. He takes on this other person. And I don't know. It's something.
He scared you, Pete? He said, who are you?
You know, you know what Sydney said. That's exactly when he turned around to ask me who was I. That's what I saw. Like literally, that's who I
He
saw.
does, Ken.
I didn't see Anthony standing there on the steps. I saw an old man standing at the stairs.
And Anthony?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I was talking about that to my wife earlier.
So
Because I
he was the old man asking you who you were?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's
Right.
what I felt because when I walked up those stairs,
Wow.
they're high. They go up to the second floor, and
They
I
were.
remember I was walking up because we did this in the pitch darkness. I was only thing that I had
Yep.
was my black and my night vision camera with a little screen on it. Um, so that's all you could see. You can see nothing else. I didn't use we didn't use no lights, no flashlights, no nothing. Um, so when I was walking up the stairs, I got to the top of the stairs. I stopped, and I remember turning around and looking down, and I didn't know who that was. And I remember saying, who are you? But even I felt that wasn't my voice. You know,
Wow.
it came out real slow,
Yeah.
real deep. Like, who are
So
you?
it's like he jumped you or something?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure, but I'm like that because I open myself up like that.
And the crazy
Mm.
thing was, so I had left outside by myself, and I was out there by myself for a while. And then Lurker goes outside, and he's like, "Hey, are you okay? Like, I had to come out and check on you because I could tell you were getting affected pretty badly. Like, what's going on? Do you want to talk about it?" And I said, "Well, first of all, I feel like I let Anthony down because I booked it when I know I should have stayed, and I know I should have pushed myself to keep
Race hunters
going."
don't run. You broke the number one rule.
Well, it looks like I'm not a wraith hunter no more. I said, I just, in that moment, when you're someone with abilities and you're someone with gifts, you know when it's time to just get out because it's too much for you.
Yep.
And I told him, after I told him that, I said, the reason why I left is because the guy that's in there, he's feeding off of all of us.
Mm.
And I feel like he's going to go after the strongest one last, which is Anthony.
Yeah.
And Anthony's going to do something to one
Hey,
of
David.
us that he does not mean to do, but it's going to happen. So I took myself out of the
Oh.
equation to keep it from getting bad. So him
Yeah.
saying just now that he even felt like he wasn't himself kind of clarifies that whole situation for me.
So something could have happened.
Mm-hmm.
Nah, I wasn't gonna do nothing.
You don't
How
know.
you
That's
know?
the point.
You don't know.
Yeah, I'm stronger than that. I ain't gonna let that happen.
He's gonna tie
You never
him
know.
up and put him in a box, and then he's gonna go ahead and mail him.
Yep.
I mean,
I'm
he
gonna
was
put
going
him
to
to
leave
rest.
me in the forest, so you don't know.
He could have left Pete in the cellar, tied him up.
Not Pete in the shower.
Flecker's like,
I
damn,
Who
you
are
know.
you?
Wait.
That's no good.
Lurker said, damn, calling me weak.
Whatever. Hey, David. But yeah, that it was that house was something.
Well, that's really cool.
Yeah,
And,
when Cindy was going out, that's when I brought up too, because I felt it too, and I told her it's the old man, right? And she's like shaking her head all the way out. I'm like, yeah, I
Yeah,
know
I
who
was
you're
like,
talking about.
I was like, yep.
do you know any more about the guy?
So I don't mean to hop in. Go ahead.
The only
I,
thing that I got off of it, to be honest with you, he was the owner, the original owner for there, and of course that was his land. And I in some way, I have a feeling another reason why I couldn't go down in the basement as well, because of my one was because of my knee. The other one, I already kind of knew what happened down there. I think I felt this thing that somebody got murdered or killed down in the basement.
so
Oh,
I want to say that from my perspective, what I get off of him was, yes, he was the owner of this place. He was the owner of the land. I feel like he had either slaves or he had someone captive that he would not let them free. And so when we were going onto his property, we were going onto his things, he felt like we were intruding on his stuff. And it was like he was like possessive of whatever he had.
yeah.
He was like, it's
Right.
mine. Like, who are you? What are you doing here? Type thing.
Just asking, did the
Yep.
old man have black eyes?
Trying to think. That's a good question.
Well, there's a little boy there too, and then that little house named Eric.
I don't think I saw me. I don't think I saw when I saw the full apparition. I didn't see the black eyes. To me, I didn't.
Hmm. They were dark because I'm trying to put myself back in that spot, and I could see him on this side of me. He was peeking out of the door. He did, and
He did have black eyes?
hmm
Yeah. Somebody just asked if he had black eyes.
yeah. And then that little kid, I don't
Was
think
he with
I
was
don't
he
think the
with the
kid was his son. I think that's from something else. But spirit wise, like once they both crossed over, the guy kind of took him in. But even afterlife, he's still an asshole to this kid. Like
yeah.
it's
Hey,
like they
Nancy.
say, how you are in life is how you're going to be in death.
Yep. Yep.
This guy was an evil, awful human being.
Asshole in life, asshole in death.
Mhm.
Yep.
Kim says not human.
I still think
She's
he was
saying,
human. I just think he had an awful,
yeah,
awful.
she's saying that his eyes were so black, no pupil, maybe not human.
But
No, there was pupil to it.
we did find.
Oh, there was.
Go ahead, Pete.
No, I was gonna say there was pupils to it. Yes.
Oh, I was gonna say that we did go to the spot that I've been trying to find for about 2.5 years. I finally found it, where they actually dug up the forest to build a dam, and that's where they found all the artifacts dating them back 10,000 years, and they took them. So of course, the indigenous people are not going to be happy about them taking, their things out of the ground like that.
Right.
So we found the first. There's two locations. We found the first one, but we had to climb up a big old hill to get there, and that was pretty funny because we got up to the top, and I think I got it on camera. I'm not too sure. I have to go back and look at the footage. But once we were all up there, I was talking on the necrophonics to see if, with my guide to communicate with the indigenous people, with the spirits, well, with the shaman, because I was asking the shaman to appear, and then
Oh, you did last
and
night?
then I said, we're all there together. We get to the top, and so I started talking to him, asking him if they can. The shaman can appear. I said, I did what you wanted. I brought them as a gift to you.
Oh, you did that last night?
You should have seen
Yeah.
Cindy's face, man. She turned around, she looked at me like, You sorry. You just sacrificed all of us.
I was like, talk
Oh,
about a skin
Yeah.
walk.
wow.
You ever think that maybe that he didn't have a sense of humor?
I don't know.
No, I'm like,
It was funny to me.
but it was
I
funny because
know.
like after he said that and he started laughing, you hear a laugh go through the necrophonics app as well. And I was like, oh my god.
The spirit started laughing too.
I
Yeah,
love
because
his face.
well, the shaman that Anthony talks to is not a bad shaman. There is a bad shaman in there, but the one Anthony talks to is the better shaman, right,
Mhm.
Anthony?
Well, I talked to both. I know both of them now.
Oh, oh, Pete. I wish
Yes.
people had more respect of people's stuff. Joanne,
And then when
she said hi.
you heard all the
No,
coyotes
I.
coming,
Joanne said hi.
Hello.
Hey, Joanne.
Pete. Oh,
The purple light.
Where's your purple light? You said you were
In
putting
my
your purple
bag.
light on.
Not while I'm driving.
and then I would whistle and I would get the people normally would think they're coyotes, but they're not coyotes. You
What
could
are
hear
they?
a whole pack of them, you know. And then that would whistle to them to call them closer, and they started getting closer. Cindy's over here talking about running up a tree. I said, hey, they won't do nothing. They only bite a little bit.
They did.
Yeah, you could hear them and they were like howling or whistling and they were like so close. And I was like looking around and Anthony's like, what? Calm down. Why are you freaking out? I said, I don't know about you guys, but I'm running up that tree right there. Like,
Ah,
it's
what was
fine.
it? What was
Kind of.
it?
So he was like, they're Native Americans. Don't you know your own people? And I'm like, hey, you got to remember, I just found out that part of my family. So
Yeah.
give me some time to learn, okay?
Ah.
Mm.
Oh, so they were natives
They got
talking back.
close because I would
Yeah.
They were
whistle. I
close.
whistle through there. That's how I call them. And that's
I don't
actually
like that word.
there's a whistle that I do. It's the way they show me how to whistle. And that's. I mean, if you look that up, you do research, or you look at how the indigenous people communicated. They communicated with animal sounds or
Mm-hmm.
hoots or the owls, the coyote sound, the whistles.
Yeah.
That's how they communicated. And then there was times that you could actually hear them actually like the first sound out of all of them was like a voice,
Hmm.
like yelling, and then it would turn into like like that, and
Yeah.
I was just
um,
gonna say like hee.
yeah, right. And
Yeah.
then you can see,
Yep.
of course, your mind's gonna tell you, well, they're coyotes when they're not coyotes. And
No.
then there's that other smell that comes out that when they talk
Oh,
about
yes.
The
Oh,
candle smell.
the Bigfoot when he comes around, how bad the stench is,
Right.
that it can smell like poop, and it does happen in there, and it'll happen all at once. Like you'll hear the owls, and then you'll hear the coyotes, and then you'll get that stench. Like I've always said, there's a pattern to this, and a sequence
Mm-hmm.
that starts happening like that. I mean, it was still been pretty calm because we went Thursday night, we went Friday night, last night, and the forest has been really calm. It hasn't really gone um, into its mode. I think right now because it wanted Sydney in there, and it knows Pete and it knows Lurker, So I think it's just being calm because I mean, there's more to it than for us four. And so I think right now what it's doing is it's just slowly starting to reveal itself more. But Sydney started to glow, and when she
yeah.
was walking in front of us, I was looking down because I can see that, and I was telling P, I said, look at her. She would walk, and her imprint would stay there. Like I
Yeah.
would see it glow black. I didn't see it like a white glow, but I could see it. Like I could see her footprints, even though like just like little dark spots that would come up.
Wow.
And then Pete took a picture of her walking across the camera, like right on time.
Yeah.
That was crazy. And all you saw
Yeah.
was a white light going across.
Yeah.
I told
Yeah,
them, I
that's
said,
nuts.
maybe I have some kind of fairy in me as well, because fairies sparkle. And
Maybe.
since I saw the fairies, I've been attracted to the fairies, and
Never know.
I
Well,
You
love
even
them.
when
never
you're at
know.
the well, even though like the lamp thing was actually glowing too,
Mhm.
if you watch, there's like a light that comes out from you when you touch it.
Exactly.
Mhm.
You never know. You
Like if
might
you watch
have
that
it.
little 2657 part, I think, when you're touching a light,
Mhm.
and there's like this light that shoots out from it.
Yep.
I have to go check that out.
You have to change your name now. It's going to be Sydney Reyes, and then it's going to be Faye.
Faye.
Sydney Faye.
Sydney Faye.
But what's funny
Yep.
about that place is that those fairies, they're I don't want to say like they're nice, but they're not that nice.
They're mischievous.
They're not what people think they are. What you see on movies and stuff like that.
Yeah.
They
Yeah.
come out. They're really scouts, and they're coming out. We call them. We gave them a name. We call them scouts because they come out first. Well, actually, you'll hear the um, the owl first, and then if the fairies do appear, it's because they're the ones that are gonna guide you. They're coming to see, like I think they like what they do is they pick up your intentions,
Yeah.
and that's what they're doing, and then they'll see if they're gonna either turn on you or they're gonna help you and guide you more. But you gotta watch them because they will lead you to that river.
Oh.
Because it's like
Yeah.
I remember
I
seeing
remember that.
I remember seeing it saying, "I want to go in there. I want to go in there," and I want to go that way. But that way, just a little ways is the river.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because they
I
did that to
remember
us.
them
They did that to us.
leading you the wrong way.
Yeah, I did that to us. Kind of the first times we were going in there, and we fought them. We actually almost fell in the river from a cliff.
Yeah. They led you the wrong way, right?
Yeah, yeah. But
Yeah.
back then, I was different too. I didn't. I had a different agenda about the
Yeah.
forest.
Yeah.
Hmm.
But
Yeah.
but
Everything's
it's
changed.
been pretty quiet. I mean, as far as for me, it's been pretty quiet. It's not where it usually can get to.
Yeah.
So I mean, for me, it was kind of boring. But it's I just what I felt that it's just kind of being nice right now.
That's good. Well, you think something's gonna happen? It's getting ready for something. It's being too nice.
That other side is the other one.
Maybe because now it's used to you. Maybe it's used to you all. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but there's another side. They were there too. I just kind of like I said, I just don't. I haven't. We're actually right now as the team, we're starting to really get to know each other investigating. I'm getting to know Sydney, how she investigates. Last night she did awesome because she didn't really use her flashlight. I don't remember her using it, and then she was just taking off in front. Going on point. And um, just in the dark, which from going from
Very
that
good.
first time, I mean, that was a whole totally different person.
Thank you.
Good
And
job,
and
girl.
then
Yeah.
Lurker ended up going in by himself. He crossed over three portals, as he said, three gateways, and so he did his thing. So he went in there by himself, and Pete, of course, he goes in by
Really?
himself. So, um, like,
What, ahead of everybody else, you mean?
yeah. So right now we're like I said, for me, I'm getting to see everybody. I mean, because I know I can maybe look like a jerk like last night, maybe, but it's because I want to see where their limits are at.
So usually you'll be the first one to cross the portal, but now they are.
Yeah, I let other ones go first if they choose to. I don't make them. I always say this: you can cross,
No.
but there's no turning back once you cross. I mean, it's up to you. You don't have to go. I'll go in by myself. I'm not
Yeah,
gonna
but what I'm
make you go.
saying is usually you'll cross first and they'll cross. Now they're crossing before you.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So the only thing is now it's just kind of like um, if we ever did go back to that house, uh, maybe Cindy can go in there by herself.
Yeah, she
I
just
think
gave up.
so.
Mhm.
Anytime I go somewhere and I run away from it, it kills me. Not not only because I feel like I let people I'm with down, but it also kind of like I let myself down because I know how
Yeah,
strong I am. I know how good of an investigator. I know how good of
you'll
a
face it.
medium I am. And so
Yeah,
I'm always like, damn, like, why did I do that?
you'll
So
face it
I
in
do want to
time.
go back.
Yeah,
Um, I feel like I need to work on myself spiritually a little more, just so
yeah,
that way when I do go back and he does try to do what he does
yeah.
again, I could be like, yo, dude, I'm coming back with a vengeance. Like, watch out.
I mean, especially where he jumped into Wraith, the strongest one,
Hmm.
and turned to Pete and said, "Who are you?" You know what I mean? If he could do that to Wraith, you know, and
Yeah.
he's the strongest one of the whole bunch.
Yeah.
I don't think so. I'm just a peon. I don't know why.
Oh,
Oh,
Kimmy,
stop.
did you get my message, Kimmy?
No,
Dang it, I thought I almost had Maddie
I
going.
think, huh?
And I was talking to another investigator, Maddie Vasquez.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah, but she's got to go to work in the morning. She wanted to go, but now she's telling me she's got to work in the morning. But it's okay. Cindy went. She found out she had to work at 8.
Yeah. I made it with 2 hours of sleep.
I don't think Sydney's gonna ever say no.
No.
When
Well,
she's got a chance to go, she's going.
I did say no tonight, but that's because my son's dad leaves for work at 4 o'clock in the morning. So someone has to be home with my
Oh,
kid.
oh,
So I have to be here. But
yeah,
if it was like a Friday night, because he's off on Saturdays, if it was a Friday night, I'd be like, okay, bye. Later.
yeah,
Out. Or if it's a Thursday night, okay, bye. I'll see you later.
right.
yeah, yeah.
Did you want me to show that picture, Pete, or did you just
Yeah,
send it?
you can. No,
Okay.
you can show it.
Okay. I just double checking. I didn't know.
Oh, is it the one of Sydney when she turned all white?
Let's see.
Okay, he's only 6 minutes away. Lurker. Right down the street.
Where
Oh,
y'all
he's
going?
coming to you. Where you guys going?
Huh?
Where y'all
Where you
going?
guys going?
Um,
Back home.
I'm gonna go by myself if nobody shows up because everybody's all
You
beat
just said
up.
Lurker was 6
Oh,
minutes
you
away.
guys are going to. You guys are going. You going back to the forest?
No, I was gonna take Maddie there tonight, but she has to work in the morning, so um, she thought we were gonna do this earlier. But uh, it's because some people do. I'm not saying anything bad. I'm just saying everybody's got their own times to investigate. It's just kind of like last night. I mean, I got to show. See, I don't know where everybody. Oh yeah, that's that light.
That's
Let me
me.
see if I can get it.
That white spot is you?
Mm-hmm.
What the hell?
Yep.
What?
Go back and click the square next to the magnifying glass
Yeah,
Okay.
at the
try to make
bottom.
that. Try to make it big.
I don't see a manifest
Down there at
glass.
the
Where?
bottom.
Oh,
Right there.
where?
Right next to that.
No, the one next.
No.
Go
Oh, it's
right there.
Next
keep
one.
one more. One more.
Right there.
Wow. Where's Sydney?
That's me.
That is Sydney.
And you know what? It's not
Hmm.
white. It's purple, pink.
Blue,
I see
chartreuse,
purple, pink, blue.
light blue, and
Purple.
white.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I see
Purple,
cross.
purple, pink, blue, and white.
Aren't
You don't
those
even see
the
her
colors?
feet.
Aren't those the colors of the Virgin Mary?
Nothing.
I don't know. But I know purple and blue are the colors of mediums. That's the aura
Yeah,
they give off.
that is purple, blue. I, I don't know, it's
But look
purple,
behind.
blue. Is that purple or pink?
It's like a pinkish purple. It's like
Yeah,
a
it's pinkish
lavender.
purple and
Light
blue
pink in
and
the
white.
back.
Yep.
Hmm.
There's like
It's like,
3 different
where's
colors
Sydney
on
go?
top.
I know you don't even see her legs. Don't even see her
No
hair.
Nothing.
legs.
Nothing.
Sydney,
Mm-mm.
nothing. There's nothing of her there. No legs, no nothing.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing.
Do you have a
And
picture that was
when
taken right before this with her? Or not?
you took a picture of the tree and she jumped in front of the tree, and that's her?
So I was walking right in front of him because I was gonna touch
Well,
the
I was
tree.
gonna.
Wow.
Yeah,
Because I was
You,
gonna
you got
touch
a
the
Wow.
tree.
you got a bunch of pictures of it.
I got a different. No, no, not of that scenario. No, but I have other pictures that I took of other little areas. I would have to go into my phone and share it.
That's insane, Sydney.
That's
Mm-hmm.
what they're going to ask you. If
That's
anybody
That
crazy.
looks
is
at it,
insane.
they're going to want to see a picture before and a picture after.
Yeah, they want 15
Wow.
before and 15 after and 15 during. That's
Well,
why
I can
Wow.
guarantee you that if we go back, I'm gonna end up glowing again because I feel like that's the force's way of helping
Yeah.
me not
And then
have to use a flashlight.
then nobody needs night lights or flashlights.
Exactly.
Right.
That's why
dang, they
he
just gave me ideas, Greg. Cool.
But night lights,
what
Yeah, I
you
got the
can
perfect
sleep there.
spot.
You can sleep there.
just never
He says,
gave him
"Okay,
idea.
Sydney, don't go to sleep. You're our flashlight."
You gave him ideas for what?
I remember the night when you were trying to take a snooze on top of that tombstone.
I did.
Yeah, I know.
I did fall asleep.
It's like, who's snoring? It's the wraith.
Wonder if you recorded it, if it would have the same effect.
Yeah, right?
Yeah,
Hmm.
but see what I was saying too. When I went into the house, it was pitch dark, and all I was using was my night vision camera, and all you see is on the little screen. I have a big screen, it always I don't like the light, so I use the little screen, the fold out screen on the side. And I was telling Sydney in there because I said I'm still kind of learning how where everybody's at. Not that I know everything, but I just said I know everybody's investigated different, and I know that we when you see on the shows how when you see Zach Bagans or the Ghost Hunters, really Zach's the one that I've seen the most. They go into places, especially they're at the beginning, the when they first started coming out. They go into these places that are just pitch dark, and all they have are
Yeah.
little screens, and it looks easy. It looks easy, and it doesn't look. I mean, it can look a little scary, but I've heard a lot of things about that, a lot of negative things. But when you actually go in there and do it like this, like especially that was her first time to walk in, and as soon as I walked in, that man hit me right. He just came right up to
Hmm.
me, and then so all you're looking so to keep from not turning on the light and turning everything on, stay with it and fight through that feeling that you're getting, which will make you stronger. And but you're just still constantly looking to this little screen. It's a different experience of actually being there and doing it than. And I know that most people don't do that. We
Yeah.
started going dark, you know. So it's a different experience. So that's what I was telling her. I says, so that's why people need to give, I would say, Zach a little bit more credit on what he did when he first
Yeah.
came out, because I've been out with a lot of groups before, with a lot of people, and they don't do that. I
Mm-mm.
mean, they got their flashlights going everywhere. It's like a dang concert,
Me.
Yeah.
and the light actually takes away from it because they don't get near you when you put that light on them.
Oh, prime example of that. As we were leaving, that one site that Anthony had found where all the old, where the artifacts had been uncovered, as we were walking around, we saw 2 portals on the side of the hill. And we were trying to, like, we were looking at them, and you could see them starting to open wider and wider as if it wanted us to go in. And I turned on the flashlight and I flashed it towards one of the portals, and nothing was there. And I turned the flashlight off, and still nothing was there. But then all of a sudden, the portal started coming back.
Are those 2
Wow.
ones, the P guy? You got that picture, P?
Which one?
The ones with
The one of the portals?
Yeah, the
Give
2
me a
portals
minute.
on the hill.
Wow.
So the new ones you didn't know were there?
That was actually right there at the hill, because when they covered it back up, it made a big hill. That's a flat one, and so it looked just like it was going right under it. You know, like you could go under
wow.
the ground into it.
Hmm.
That picture that Pete took was really good.
And that one was pretty cool.
And of course, I had to go walk up to it, and
He said he was getting it. He popped off.
Oh,
Yeah,
he's probably getting it on his tablet because I think he has to like connect his tablet and his phone and stuff.
Yeah.
What you missed, we're just talking about all our cool adventures that we had yesterday.
we're talking about how you fell on your butt, and
Oh yeah. So I saw him say about how he fell and he was laughed at. What happened?
Carlos saw his butt.
No, he was not laughed at. He's lying. He is lying about that. Okay, so Papa Wraith made us go up a hill to get to this area. So, of course, when you go up a hill, you got to go down the
Charge!
hill. So, as we were going down the hill, the terrain isn't flat, so it's like dips here and there. Like
Yeah.
any terrain. Well, Lurker was going down and he missed a spot, I guess, and he fell. And he twisted his ankle, and
Oh.
he was like, I can't do this, like, fuck this, I'm going down this way. And he started scooting down the hill on his butt.
Oh.
And I was like, get up, like, I'll help you get down, like, there's a way you gotta do it. And Anthony was just laughing his butt off the entire time. And me and Pete are like worried about Lurker.
I
We're
was
like,
down at the
"Holy
bottom already,
crap."
waiting for you for like 10 minutes.
You guys are like his kinfolk.
Yes, I was trying to help
His
Lurker out as much as I could.
Stepmother and stepfather.
That's why
Yeah,
I
but
call
it's,
Papa Wraith.
it's good to stick together like that though and watch out for each other.
I was
Well, that's-
laughing because we were talking about who's going to get it first. And like I said, there's one girl with us, there's 3 guys, so you know who's going to make it out and who's not going to make it out. Because in the movies, the girl's always making it out, you know? And so Lurker got taken out first, and his ankle's all beat up. He can't walk, so I guess he's going to get taken out first because he's the wounded one.
Oh. Okay, there's the pic.
Yeah, see that black spot?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
That's the
it does look
portal
like it
into
goes
one
right
of
underneath
the.
it.
Mhm.
That was the portal open?
Yeah.
Yep.
There's 2
Wow.
of them. There's another one right next on the left side. That's the big one.
So with that closed, there's nothing there.
Correct.
Wow.
Hey Heidi.
I've seen him open a couple of them.
Lurker
remember that
looks sad.
No, don't be sad.
time that you used
Sorry.
that loud frequency and you opened one. That was a long time ago. Remember that?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That was during the daytime. That was gone.
Yeah.
It's not there no more.
No?
I already went.
Gotta be
The
kidding.
last 3 times that I went there, even yesterday, it wasn't there no more.
So it's like
Why?
a fishing spot.
I don't know. It's
They
just
move
gone.
on.
It's all covered up now. It's not there.
I bet you it's like that periodically throughout the year.
It could
Spots change.
Huh.
They're hanging out.
Maybe.
Yeah, because that was a big one. when you did that. That opened really big.
Yeah, that's the one that had the little house in there. You could see the. Remember, you could see the like a door or the window.
Hmm.
Mhm.
That thing opened big. Huh.
That's really wild. Who?
He was doing it with frequencies.
Do all portals look like that?
No. Mm-mm. Some are like massive black holes like that. Others are like, so if you're not in tune with the forest, you've never visited the forest, to you it just looks like a bunch of trees. It would look like just a bunch of trees with like curved arches or like bent trees or like trees entwined to each other. But if you're in tune to the forest and you let it show you what it wants to show you and you walk through, you'll see everything. It's like I said, the first time I ever went in, um, I was like, yeah, sure, okay. Like, I believe Anthony, but is it as magical as he says it is? And when I walked through that first portal, on this side, everything was like foggy and it was like dense fog. And then I looked where we just walked out of and everything's clear. Like, no fog,
Yeah, I know what the first one is.
crazy difference. And I was
Yeah.
like, what the hell? And Anthony's laughing his butt off. He's like, I told you, like this thing is real, like it's magic. It's you know? And it's like I said, since then, that's all I ever think about.
Yeah.
Does the portals tend to stay in the same places, or do you have to? Are they different every time you go in?
Some of them are in the same spots, but the other ones change.
Hmm.
But like I said, it's been nice. It's been really too calm. But I mean, I understand why. Because
Hmm.
the fairies ain't even come out. Like I said, once they start coming out and you see them all, there's not just one or two. There's a lot.
A lot.
They come out
Right.
like in swarms. They come around you. They'll come up. They'll come right up to you.
Mm.
Yesterday, we were walking back to the car. Lurker, like, I was way ahead of everybody. And he, like, next thing I know, he's right next to me. He's like, hey, I had to catch up to you because I had to let you know that a fairy just got, like, this close to my face.
Wow.
And right before
Wow.
that, I was throwing candy out onto the trail. And I was leaving candy on the trail because I told them I was going to take them candy.
Do you know
Yeah.
the Candyman? Do you? Can you
It's
open up
candy.
a
We're going
portal
to
yourself?
Candyland, Charlie.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
can't.
he's
Did you did you do the
he's
song?
opened the
I should
he
have.
can open the portals. I seen him open them.
I can open them if everybody's calm and quiet and dark.
Dark. Jesus Christ. He said
In
if
the
everyone
dark.
sacrifices
Yeah, in the
themselves.
dark. In the dark.
In
Okay.
the dark. I seen him open them.
Yeah, because I'll navigate through there like a cat.
That is true.
Gato.
The Wraith del Gato.
El
Right.
gato
Oh,
holy rey.
gato.
The Gato Holy Wraith.
Yeah, but I mean, it's still right now, like Greg is saying, we'll have people, and I know already some of them that'll be like, well, you got to have this and have that, test this, test that. I mean, the second time of this, when we went to the other side, to the bridge side, I didn't take anything with me. I took my protection off. I didn't take no cameras or nothing. Just, for me, it's not the same anymore. I don't care if people don't believe me or not.
I think that's what I need to do the next time I go. Because I always wear my black salt necklace, like everywhere I go on investigations.
Yeah.
And if
Where
the
do you get one
forest,
of those? Where'd you get that?
so I got mine from a, she's an acquaintance now in the paranormal field. We used to be
Oh.
friends, until
Oh.
she got mixed up in some stuff that I feel she shouldn't have gotten mixed up in. So now I just consider
Oh.
her an acquaintance. I don't consider her friends because I don't want to get mixed up in her stuff.
So where
She,
would I get one?
you can make it your own, honestly. Uh,
My table's smashed and all my black salt is all over my house.
I'll make
So
you one.
can you? That'd be cool.
I'll make you
I'll
one.
wear that all the time.
Yeah, for sure. I'll
I
definitely
could
make you.
really use one. I could use one, that's for sure.
But yeah, I feel
So
like
what is it like
this-
entering a portal?
I feel like if the forest is trying to help me enhance my abilities, and that's the reason why I get sick all the time.
Yeah.
Just need to go in empty and see what happens. 'Cause that's the only way you're gonna learn, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Do you think there's a reason it is a forest? Really, compared to a lot of, if you took another group of people and you, like for instance, you put them in Kentucky
mhm.
or you put them in Ohio or wherever you would put them, do you think they would come up with the same kind of experience? And would it be a forest?
I think it has to do with the land. I could be wrong
Hmm.
because that's more of an Anthony question because Anthony's real connected to it.
I
Well,
think it's the land.
My
Hi.
take would be the
Hola.
land.
I
Hola.
think it's the land. But they only accept and show who they want. That's my opinion.
See, I agree with you on that. Like I've talked to some people since I've announced that I've gone to the forest and I've seen things. I've had people message me, and I haven't even told Anthony about this. I've had people message me telling me, "Oh, well, I've been there before telepathically, or I put myself there just by talking about it, and this is what I see, and this is what I feel." And I'm like, dude, no, like I'm sorry, but
It's not the same.
not at all.
No. Because I've been there the same way. It's not the same. But I also heard other people say they've been there just like you guys and they don't see what you guys see. Because I don't think the forest is accepting them.
Hmm.
You get what I mean? They're
Yeah.
not
Yeah.
they're not accepting them and showing them like what they are with you guys.
Well, like after the first time I went, I remember Anthony said, "Well, now that I know the
I
forest,"
also
I
heard
said,
other
"What's
people
that
say
supposed to mean?"
they've been there
Sorry.
just like you guys.
And
That
he
was
was like,
feedback.
"Well, I don't know. I didn't know how the forest was going to take to you." He goes, "Well, I knew, but you know,
Yeah.
his Papa Wraith
Do
knows
you think it's
everything."
like a native thing? Like, would you be not native, not knowing though, but it knows obviously that you're a native? Do you think it only accepts because of the native, or I mean, like, if you put 4 white people in there, would it be the same?
Well, the last white guy that went in there, he got he felt that he was being hunted.
All right. I want to ask a question.
But it doesn't necessarily mean like white guy because like you say, we don't. Uh, some of us don't know how far our ancestors go. Like
Right.
I can only
Exactly.
go so far before I go. I can't go any further.
Yeah.
So I
Right,
don't have anybody in my family left that I can talk to give me that information.
right.
So do but it knows. So that's what I mean.
All right.
It's not that anybody. It's not that you can't go there. You, the only way you're going to find out is if you go there. And there's
Right.
many people that go and they don't. I mean, not everybody's a paranormal investigator that goes in there, but um, the ones that have gone, and then to this day, there's really not any that go in there right now.
Hmm.
Well, I know you say the
Ain't it?
forest won't accept me because the tribes. I don't think that's true.
What?
Oh, you put me on a spot on a live.
Oh,
You have to come down
I,
here then.
Uh-oh.
I do not think
Now
that's
you like
true.
Carol getting mad at me.
You feel like you
I
should
just don't.
Oh,
I just don't think that's true because
Well, there's only one way to find out.
exactly.
you go
Now,
ask them what's
Lurka, what nationality is Lurka? Hmm?
Pues yo no sé.
I don't know. You have to ask him. I know we talked about it not too long ago.
He's Mexican, but what else? And then Sydney is Mexican, but she's not the same tribe as the Forest.
But you have to remember there are 10 different ones in there.
See, there you go.
Exactly. There are 10 different ones in there. So
But see,
what makes
even though you have these 10 different tribes in there, doesn't mean they all got along.
no, they didn't.
So some people might not be accepted in there because they were the ones. Because a lot of people think that Native Americans all got along. That
No,
they're Native Americans, so they have to get along, just like all the Mexicans get along, just like all the
no,
Caucasians get along. Just like that's not true.
no.
So for all we know, it could have been a giant war between all these different tribes,
Hmm.
and depending on what part of the forest you're in, you're welcome or you're not.
Yeah.
right.
See, that's why I want to go so bad because so far I got Blackfoot, Cheyenne, and Anastasia. How you say that? Anastasia?
Well, that was a past life though, not like. Well, I guess that would count. I
Is it?
guess.
It's
Is
still
that and it's
yep.
Anastasia?
Anastasia.
Anastasia.
Yeah.
Anastasia, which is still it's still in me. So either way, I want to go. I want to make a road trip.
Well, make your road trip, woman.
Yeah, bring Kimmy with you.
Yeah, it's gonna be me. If I go, it's gonna be me and Kimmy. It's gonna be the both of us. We already talked about it.
The race hunters can always use extra bait.
It's gonna extra bait.
What?
I want to know what was Mama Wraith saying.
I said that.
Oh, was she on?
No,
Yeah.
I'm here. I'm here in the background.
She's in the. We're at the.
Oh.
We're at the hotel.
She's
Oh, what was she
she's
saying? I didn't hear her.
That a lot of the tribes, when they were, of course, they all, to survive, they all fought with each other.
Yeah.
Each tribe was its own entity. But if they came across a tribe that was smaller than them, they absorbed them into their tribe. That's what happened to the tribe that my roots come from. They were absorbed into another tribe.
So like adopted into another tribe.
Well, yeah, they bring them in and then they marry within this different tribe, and yeah, they're absorbed in because of the fact that they were smaller and they couldn't defeat the larger tribes.
Right.
And
Yeah.
see, that's actually what happened down here in San Antonio when the Europeans started coming over. They started to attack all the tribes
Yeah.
over there because they just didn't show me the tribes that they were fighting with the shaman. They also showed me the Europeans when they came over, the Spaniards and the Latin ones. That's actually where we get our name, Latino, Mexican, all this stuff. They named us after their own self, you know, and so we were indigenous people here, but down the line, we got mixed, but with their own names. Those were not our true names, or heritage. So, and then, how that's why the natives ran to the missions, to the priests here in San Antonio, and for protection from the church. So then the church grabs them and says, "Okay, you're going to be Christian or you're going to be Catholic now, and then we'll protect you." So they absorbed them also. So actually, this is why it's so hard for indigenous people to get their heritage, because it's gone. I mean, it's all been watered down and it's gone. And I mean, even now, I know that reservations people have a hard time even getting their heritage because it's gone. It was
Yep.
erased. And see, and we didn't speak English because English doesn't come from here. It comes from the other side, So they made us speak English, and even the indigenous language, the original languages are gone because they stopped speaking them. They won't let them. So it really this city, not just the city of San Antonio, but um, even just going more down south, how you start to see, and then out, of course, to Arizona and everywhere, else Oklahoma, where you see how the injustice that happened to our people. You know,
Hmm.
that when these Europeans came over and they just started just to take over everything. And of course, if they want, they took the land, so they didn't ask. They just killed you. Either you join them or they would. And I'm pretty sure the history is all wrong anyways. We already know that.
Oh yeah.
But how they just would come in. Of course, they wanted the land. History shows us them having a good old time. This is why I say Thanksgiving. We don't celebrate Thanksgiving because we know what that really was. You know, and so it looks all nice and dandy doing trading. I don't even think there. I know that there was no trading. It was just them coming in and just. The name that was called for the indigenous people were savages because they weren't like them. So I say like this: how do you know the Europe? I was saying, how do you know? I think the Europeans were the savages because they're the ones who
That's
came
what.
in and just murdered everybody for the land. Because in there, not just on that side of that forest, on the other side, you hear the screams. You actually do. I have it on audio where you hear um, like a crowd of women and even men screaming and crying. And that's when they
Yeah,
showed me, and I saw it. I saw them just, it didn't matter. It was kids, little babies. They were just
yep,
massacring everything because they have to get
yeah,
rid of them to get the land. And that's the truth
Mm-hmm.
that
yep,
you don't hear in history.
yep.
Yep.
It's true.
So
You know,
all that blood is in this land.
It cries
yeah,
out.
Well,
You
how
know,
many times? How many times too? Over the centuries, not over the centuries, the 1,000-year mark, which you would figure that this area here that you're talking about has probably been inhabited for 8,000 years.
yeah, because they dated back those artifacts. They found 10,000 years. So this is
Right.
why I say that. So that you dated back 10,000 years, there's 10,000 years of generations. So how many generations is that? And then
yep.
on that
Mm-hmm.
particular area, since they found those artifacts, now that land is protected. They can't build on it or anything.
Well, it's
So
all it's all it's all energy.
so that
It's
land
all
is
energy from all those people.
Right.
But
right.
they
So
don't
that
Yeah,
understand that the people have been there that long. They don't
right.
have
So
you
it.
know,
Right.
so
They
that
don't have an
land right
you
now
idea.
know,
is the same land that was there 10,000 years ago. Okay, well, where did they bury all the dead? After generation, and they're there. They're buried there. And they come
I was
ten
gonna
thousand years.
say they're all there.
Yeah, 10,000 years
Hmm.
later, they build a bike trail through it. You
Oh,
know,
that's great.
Exactly.
and
That's
that's
Great
that.
sad.
idea.
The thing about that land is that that's all there's there. It's just that one sidewalk of bike trail. Now you come
Yeah.
outside of that forest into San Antonio itself, and all of the buildings, all the hotels, everything's all built on top of native land. I mean,
I was gonna
native
say
burial ground.
that.
So,
I was gonna
Uh,
say that.
but because
All
were
of
they
that is
were
probably
they
a
were
lot
they
of it.
were they blessed? Were they blessed? Did the Native Americans come out and bless the land for them before they built
I
on it?
doubt it because they've dug up
You know,
they're dug up the graves.
that's just insane. It's like what they do up in northern Wisconsin the same way.
Hard
They,
here
you
too.
know, and you could go ahead and talk to somebody and say, you know what, is you're putting your house there, and they go, yeah. It might not be a bad idea to go ahead and have somebody of the cloth come out and
Yeah.
do a small ceremony or do it yourself, but do something to bless your house.
Right.
Because that only makes sense.
And see, and
And
since
that's
you got so much commotion because you got the Riverwalk, of course, it's all
right.
tourists, everything in the
Mm-hmm.
city. but that forest, that big forest on both sides, and it is big. There's nothing there right now but that sidewalk. So it's been undisturbed for all this time. And then when they dug up that land and brought out all those artifacts, they took their items, and I keep forgetting to do that, but they have them in a museum here somewhere, and I want to go and find it. But they
They
took
should
all those
return
artifacts
them.
out of there, you know.
Right.
So that's
I'm
another
sure
thing.
that pissed them off.
Yeah, that's
Sure.
another thing. So this
Yeah.
is why
And lucky
that.
that nobody got set on fire.
Exactly.
So that's
It
why
probably
that
increased
that part of that
activity.
land is so active.
Yep.
That's so damn disrespectful.
Mm-hmm.
And
And when you really
then you
think
get in,
about it,
and then you get into the indigenous people. Those are the one of the most powerful spiritual people on the planet.
right?
Yeah.
They are.
They're connected really good with the spirit side. This is what they did. So you're missing. You think you're messing around with black magic is one thing, but I think the native spiritual power is way more stronger than that is, and I've seen both.
You.
Yep.
Yep.
Now, I had a conversation with my mom, finally, in and out,
That's good.
for the past few months.
But hey, I got to get
Um,
off. I got to go pick up Lurker.
Okay. See
Okay.
you later, Anthony.
Bye.
Okay.
So
Maybe
y'all,
we'll
Bye.
see you a little
Y'all
later.
be
We'll see you a
safe.
little later on.
yeah, y'all see us go live here in a little bit.
Okay.
okay.
Cool.
Love
Bye-bye.
y'all.
Bye bye.
But
Bye.
Good
I gotta
night.
go. I gotta go torment Lurker some more. You ready, Pete?
Yeah.
All right, I'll call
You're
you here in a
going
little bit.
to?
Yeah.
Yeah, the race hunters are going. What's up?
Aw.
Read between the lines.
They're gonna leave me here with Sid
Yeah,
and the
you'll be
other
all
two
right.
wraith hunters.
You'll be all right.
At least we're 4 wraith hunters.
Good
so
luck with all the
there's-
girls. You'll be
Oh,
good.
oh boy.
All right, I'll see y'all in a little bit.
Bye.
Bye.
okay.
You see how they pick on me? Oh, it's all
When
the
I was
girls.
talking with my mom,
Oh, Greg, that's
um,
okay.
this one day, we were having a conversation, and I was just asking her different things, and I can't remember how that come out. Oh, it was about the last name,
Oh wow.
and she's 89. She came over as a child over the border, and back then they messed up names on everybody. I heard from a lot of people, that's just how they did it.
That's
'Cause they,
absolutely crazy.
Yeah.
yeah,
There's nothing good about any of that. You
no,
people up here spend more time burying a turtle, okay, or a cat or some family animal in their backyard, and they do more of a ceremonial there.
Now they're heading out investigating tonight.
It's just like it doesn't make any sense.
yeah.
Right.
It's,
Well, but when they came over, when people come over from the border like that, right, they just want to get over the border. So they're not going to turn around and say, oh, you messed up my name, because they want to get over the border. So, trying to think, the original name was supposed to be Rainbow. I hope I'm saying it right. I don't know. The paper is supposed to be Rainbow, something like that. And the border people put it Inbu
oh boy.
instead of Rainbow. They just cut 2 letters off, like idiots. This is what my mom was saying. Now, I remember that a long time ago. She was saying about the name being messed up and stuff. But I just been asking her questions. So then all of a sudden, I get off the phone with her. She called me back I don't know, it was 10, 15 minutes later. And then she was like, oh, Donna, La Sauvage, La Sauvage. And I'm like, Ma, what are you saying? La Sauvage. So then she looked at my stepfather. She said, how do I tell her that in English? He didn't know. He's not French. It's my mom. So I said, Mom, I think I know what you're saying.
Let them free.
And no, she said it had to do with your it's my mom's grandfather, so it would be my great grandfather. So she was saying, um, people in Canada would point to the dark redskin and the darker Native Americans and say, La Savage, which means the savage, the savage. I just remembered that when Anthony said that about savage. That's what my mom was saying, and it was terrible. She remembers that when she was a little girl.
Right.
Certain things. I mean, she was young, but certain things she remembers.
I'll tell you what, it's just too much sometimes when you think about things. Even just doing a straight investigation in a haunted location and the things that people do and they shouldn't do. But nobody goes ahead and says, if you do that, I'm going to break your hand.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You know, if that something like that was said, people would think twice before they're disrespectful.
Yeah.
Because that's what we're talking about basically is disrespect.
You know what kind of got me though? I was talking about it to Kimmy. Now, on my mom's side, they all got this little like hump on the top of their nose right here. And it's the Native American that, I don't know, that dominant feature. You know how some have that little hump right there in their nose?
Yeah.
My aunts have it. My cousins have it. My grandmother has it. My mom has it a lot less than the rest of them. It's not so strong. And most of them went and had nose jobs. Now that's their heritage. Why would they do that? The only one I know that didn't have a nose job was my meme, my grandmother. We call her meme. And one of my cousins, Jerry. The rest of them all had nose jobs. Oh, the boys didn't have nose jobs, but all her girls had nose jobs. And they all had that strong nose.
Well, you know, there's a reason for having that.
Exactly.
You know,
I don't know.
You look at all the people, all the different nationalities that have come here.
Yeah.
Who are
They
the ones
all went.
who are the ones with the red hair and the freckles?
Yeah. They just all went and have nose jobs. And I'm like, why would you do that? It's your heritage. Like you can see.
None of you guys have nose jobs. You don't have a big bump on your nose, do you?
My nose has been broke in the same spot probably three times now.
Mine has been totally mashed to my face.
Yeah.
Totally mashed to my face.
Yeah.
Mm.
Having a broken nose ain't too nice. That's for sure.
You know, and then when you go in and you see a doctor, like at the VA, and he goes, "You have a deviated septum. How do you get that?"
Yep.
And
Yep. I got
like
a deviated septum.
And I go like this.
I had one.
I look down and
You got one?
Had one.
I didn't know I have a deviated septum.
Oh, you don't. Oh, you don't know more?
No, they fixed it when I had surgery.
It was
Wrong
a joke.
Oh, you're lucky.
You had surgery on your nose?
That's where they pulled the tumor out of.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
So when she had the deviated septum, they fixed it.
Mm-hmm.
That is really cool.
Yeah. It was cool. They were able to do that while they did it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
You know what? You are so lucky.
It was a special procedure. They had to wake up the Egyptians for that one.
Oh.
Well, their doctors, their mummy doctors are really good.
Yeah.
That was a good one,
Sid,
Pete.
look at, don't you think Sydney's changed since that happened?
Oh yeah.
Look at, she has
I
smiles on
mean,
her face. I haven't seen a girl like
she
that
went through a
smile.
lot. I mean, that's when I
That long,
first met
yeah,
her.
that has gone through the kind of stuff that she went through. All these
Yep.
other people have to pay attention and start to learn from it.
Thank you.
That's when I first met Sydney, right before that surgery. And that was something.
Well,
Oh, I,
we'll still have
I,
people in
I
the room.
I'm gonna
Barbara
share
Woodbury.
something with y'all that freaked out
Okay. Make sure they have clothes
because
on.
my daughter doesn't pay attention to the show or anything, and she does not know about what Cindy actually goes by. And what's weird is she made me this little, well, she made Sydney this little thing, and it looks like a crown. And
Didn't she
she
put the
said,
photo?
yeah. So that fits all into perfection. She's all like, "Would Miss Sydney like this?" And I'm like, "Yeah."
Oh,
Let me see.
Aw.
I got
Oh,
that's
there you go.
cute.
You get all the
Aw.
cool, Sydney. You always get the cool stuff.
Aw.
There you
Mhm.
go.
I didn't see it.
That was at the monastery yesterday, wasn't it?
Mhm.
Yeah.
It's her head wrap.
He made me a
Let
head
me
wrap.
let me
and I
ask
gave
let
him
me
the
ask you
paper
something. You
Oh,
towel.
know,
okay.
you guys didn't
Okay.
answer. You guys didn't answer any of the questions that I asked. It was like, oh, it's
That was
lousy Greg.
Anthony. And
Yeah.
that
That
was
Oh,
was
that's
Anthony's
lousy
live.
Greg. I'm not going to answer any of his stupid questions.
That was Anthony's live. That was
But
going on.
what were those wooden boards doing there?
so
Which
they
one?
cover up the well.
Okay, that's the where the well was.
Yes.
Okay. I thought maybe it was some sort of catapult type device that they would use when they were attacked or something.
That would be cool, though, right?
That'd be awesome. So where y'all going, Pete?
One of the missions.
Ooh, Esplanada?
You
Mm.
can't say right now.
I'm just
You'd
guessing.
you'd
Oh,
have to
there's
beat
like
it out
5
of
or
them.
6 of them, isn't it?
It starts with an E. Yes.
You'd have to take
Wow.
you have to take Pete down and beat him, and then he'd crawl back to Anthony and say, "They didn't get it out of me, Anthony."
That's a good place.
Mhm.
Oh, he's like going 80 down the road.
I know, right?
They drive fast.
Wow.
Him and Anthony drive
Did
like
you
bats out of
did you
hell.
just hear that?
Yeah,
Wow.
the cars. Yes, there's some that drive ugly around here.
Yeah, you have to
Was
drive.
that you or somebody else
No,
that just
it
went
was it
wham?
was it was somebody else.
How did it go down?
Mm, wham.
Oh my god.
Oh man.
How many
Donna,
you
Donna,
drive?
it sort of sounds like something else, Donna.
Next
Yeah.
time my boyfriend's like on a motorcycle, and I tell him, "Hey, my car's making a weird noise." He's gonna be like, "What's your noise? What do you mean?" I'm be like, "Yeah, my car noise. It's going wah."
Oh my gosh. Mm-mm-mm.
Barbara Woodbury Spears in the room too. So is Nancy.
Mhm. Liz is
When did
here.
Nancy come in?
Barbara's here. Nancy's here.
Liz is here.
Ron. Lurker.
Oh, you're saying that there's a troll inside the chat? Is that what you said?
No, there's no troll.
Peace on
Not
Jones.
yet, right?
Better than me. Never mind. Never mind. Never mind. Never mind.
No, forget it.
She might be waiting on you to get on your OnlyFans later. I don't know.
I was gonna say what happened to your friend? I only
He
seen
wasn't
it
showing
once.
anything. He wasn't showing any purple lights. It was on closed sign.
Yeah, right. You just
Is he,
pitch black.
He
is
let
he
her
gonna
down.
pay? Is he gonna pay you to be his chauffeur?
Who?
That's what I'd say. Put on that little black hat and say, "Okay, sir, where are you going?"
That's right.
Mhm.
You troll, you get booted by the Brian.
Good job, Brian.
Mhm. Mhm.
Yeah, I don't know where those guys came from.
Brian has done his job.
Right.
Right.
Now Kimmy shall feed you.
What do
I'm
you
gonna
have
have to
tonight?
find.
Huh? What do we do for night? Pizza
Yeah,
Hut.
you had Pizza Hut tonight.
Hmm.
You like
Nice.
Pizza Hut the best out of all of them?
That's all we got.
We went to go pick up some Chicago
And
pizza.
that's like the next town over at that. So there's only like 400 people here. That's it.
Chicago pizza.
Yep.
Chicago.
Next time when you're in San Antonio, we'll go.
Okay.
Deep dish.
Yeah.
Promise.
Oh,
Yeah.
A lot
that's
of
good.
cheese. A lot of
It's
mozzarella
recorded.
cheese.
It's
Yep.
recorded, so now you have to stick to your word.
Mhm.
Deep dish. Oh, that's the best.
Mm,
What are you eating, Sid?
A giant pickle.
I thought she was.
Ah, that's
I
my
thought she was
girl.
still eating. I thought she was eating offerings still.
I'm sorry.
Kimmy was on me about pickles last night, and I was like, "Girl, you don't know what you're missing."
Pickles
I
are
got a giant jar over there of the big ones.
like this.
Yeah.
Huge. My pickle jar is huge.
Uh-huh. Oh
There's just
yeah.
something. There's something about how you're holding it.
Oh my
Give me
goodness.
that pickle.
I'll eat them if I have to be in the mood for them, but I don't usually like them.
I love them.
It's juicy.
Well,
Mhm.
Barbara has a whole series of jokes on pickles because they always bring it up in the Psychics Unite meeting,
Hmm.
Mm.
and it's me and my pickle.
Huh.
They have a psychic
Wow,
share
Greg.
meeting.
Ha! Nancy says, "Get a grip."
There you go. You got to get a grip. You got to hold on to it. Don't let that
Psychics
pickle get away.
Psychics Unite meeting. What's that about?
How come we weren't invited?
Right?
Uh-huh.
It's been going on.
Exactly.
It's been going on forever. It's on Monday nights.
We weren't
You got
invited.
you got two psychics here.
Okay. If you'd like to come,
I'm offended
why are you offended?
because I wasn't invited to the party.
How many times how many things can I get done in one day?
A lot if you
And-
put
and-
your
and
mind
not-
to it.
And then not have a memory.
Oh.
Oh yeah.
Well, you got two right here.
Okay. I'll have to show you a little later on how to get on.
Okay.
If you go to the Psychics Unite page, and then I can't do it on here. We have to be off.
I got you.
Psychics Unite.
Yes.
Okay.
God
God damn, Pete. That's you
Yes.
driving like that.
That's what
Yeah,
Ron
that's my
said. Did you turn the NOS on? My grandson asked me from across the room, "Is someone driving and have a loud blinker?"
That was a while ago. Not now.
Did you turn the NOS on?
No. I'm gonna switch out around so y'all can see something real quick. Well, a couple of things. So the mission that we were at yesterday is actually linked up to this mission right here.
And what was the date on those?
I have to go back and it's been a while. I have to go back and look for
Are
the
they
dates.
1700s.
Probably so. But that's one of this one and the other, and there's one more that, well, they're all pretty much linked up. All four of them that are close by each other, pretty much.
Okay.
Brian says,
Slow
slow
down,
down,
Toretto.
Toretto.
For real though.
Oh, don't worry, I'm gonna go to the mission right now.
Is
We'll
that
take a
you?
little trip. Yeah, I had to turn on my blinker. Sorry.
No, driving like that.
Oh, it's because that the exhaust, not me.
Ooh.
I have dual exhaust on my truck.
Dual exhaust. Double handing it since 1739.
Ooh, get it, Kimmy. I just got turned on a little bit.
Pete's drifting. Yeah, cut those corners, Pete.
Is it Psychic Unite organization or Psychic
Yeah,
Unite?
yeah, it's the organization.
Okay.
So that's, if y'all can see it, that's actually the mission right there.
Hmm?
That's one of the missions.
Man, I wish I lived in San Antonio.
This is one of the only missions that actually has its surrounding walls. Other than Espada that has some.
Ooh, look at this new Pinocchio movie.
Oh,
I know, I saw that. The horror one.
Yeah.
Is that who does that? He's the guy that just the guy that did all that other stuff, isn't it? Same guy.
I think so.
hopefully it's not Disney.
Well, I don't know. They were saying something about making fun about it about Disney.
That'd be funny.
Sydney,
What was that?
what?
Is that your dog snoring?
No, not me.
No.
I don't have a dog.
Nobody heard that like growling like noise?
I heard it, but I thought it was coming from you.
No. Is it my kid?
No.
No.
Someone poor. That
My
narrows it
kids.
down, Greg.
My kid's sleeping right next, like on the couch next to me, but he's not snoring.
Yeah, you see, it started already. You see, I didn't have to
Diamond's sleep. She's right here, but
If
I
this
don't
baby
hear her.
would stop slamming his freaking door, that'd be great.
I mean, mine is sound cancellation, so I can't hear her. I don't know if you can.
So are mine. But I heard that growl like in here.
Hmm.
So there's this one place that I am gonna pass by that I will show some information that I know of, and maybe Sydney knows about some of the information.
What is it?
By Stinson Air Force Base.
Oh.
But I haven't
Which one?
gotten there yet.
Which base, Pete?
It's called Stinson. It used to be an actual Air Force base. Now it's just like for just small little airplanes.
How were you spelling the name?
Stinson.
Stinson.
Simpson.
So it was
Stinson.
Stinson.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Stinson.
So literally, Stinson was the first Air Force base here in San Antonio, my understanding.
Oh wow.
Right. And it also has a cemetery by
That's
it too.
where that's what I was heading towards. So the cemetery, you can actually see it from the side road. We don't have access to get into it or anything. So
Hmm.
these before it became a cemetery, it was actually bought by the city to do like a recycling plant for the water.
Right.
And so the city was having, well, the state was having people dining, of course, in their mental and thing, and they didn't have a place to put them because they just didn't. So the city told them, well, you can have our land. We're not going to do anything after all with it. So that's why they started burying people there. But still, as of now, you can still see some of the areas where actually there's some areas in front of my son's school where the water was going through, and you can still smell it. Where it smells like raw sewage and stuff
Oh
like that,
wow.
and it smells nasty. But
Ooh,
yeah,
wow.
you can see the actual cemetery there, but you have to go on the side, like on the side road, which is an actual highway, and it's pretty. You can't stop pretty much. There's no way to go physically show you where it's at.
Yeah, because when we were I got walked through there with somebody that I know, and it kind of all forms like a triangle through there. Like it's
Oh,
almost like you got this part here, you got that part there, you got this cemetery over here, and it all kind of connects, and it
are
actually
you are
forms
you
like a.
going are you going by ley lines, Kimmy?
No, I'm just going by like the spots, like
Okay.
the cemetery is here, or the Esplanade Downs here. Then you got like the mission and all that, and it kind of all forms like a triangle.
So this is Stinson that I'm passing by now. But that's where Kim the on the other side is where the cemetery is at. It's actually in a wooded area.
Oh wow.
We'll say hi to Jeff too, and Barbara, Nancy, Brian. Kimmy will say hello to you later on when you get off. Right, Brian?
I'm gonna take you out to one mission before I go to the other one.
Liz, who else we got here? Barbara,
We got Jeff,
Carlos.
Barbara, Nancy, Brian,
Road trip.
right?
Pretty
Liz.
much.
Not sure if Liz is still here.
Uh
And a matter of fact, we're gonna be passing up what we call the Devil's Bridge here in a couple of minutes.
I love that
oh.
place.
You better make sure you got your machete in there with you.
Love
I
Devil's
got my
Bridge.
nine.
Yes.
I wonder how hard it would be for me to go ahead and get a concealed carry permit in
It's
Texas.
it, it's not hard. And in Texas, you don't have to have a permit.
Well, I mean, for me to be out of state, what would I need?
So I'm actually passing by the Devil's Bridge right now. It's on the right
Okay,
hand side of me.
okay.
They get
It's
all
on this
kinds of
side,
psychic groups.
right there.
Yes, there are. There's a zillion of them. The
And
group.
then
Oh, we better. Well, yeah, we should talk about it at the end. That would
I
be
don't
good.
know if y'all can see it. I'm gonna try to go a little bit further up, but on the right side of me, you got a mission. On the other side of me is the cemetery where Emilio Nevada is buried at.
Who?
Or Tejano
Emilio
singer.
Nevada was a
Emilio.
Tejano Nevada. He was a Tejano singer.
Oh wow.
Oh, they have the lights off. What the heck?
Of the
Oh,
mission.
Oh no, the front lights are off, but the side light you can barely see it. I don't think you can, but the
is
front
the
usually has it on.
is the gate open?
Oh yeah, oh yeah, you can walk all the way over there. And if I continue all the way, of course you'll see our infant's supposed ghost tracks, but they're not haunted. I mean, they are in a way, but what they say, it's all
In a
illusional.
way, really? No, they're not haunted at all.
Well, if you have you walked the track,
I've been to that ghost track numerous times.
I have seen and heard a lady down on the tracks itself, like literally for real.
Oh wow.
I should go to the store before I go all the way to the other mission,
Mm-hmm.
because if not, there ain't no other store that way. But this is the cemetery right here. If you want me to, I think I have enough time to go take out real quick to go see the grave.
They're gonna leave without you.
Nah, I know where they're going. I know exactly where they're going. Can't go
So do
nowhere
I.
without me.
So do I.
Don't tell me they put a lock on this fence already, did they? I can't
Are you
tell.
going? Are you going to bed early tonight, Sid?
Let me see.
I don't know.
Run
Probably.
if you want, if you want.
I'm gonna go get
Let me
some coffee.
check. I think they put a lock on this gate already, maybe.
I'm still drained from yesterday.
Who said that about the Bel Air house?
Oh
Jeff.
no, it's not.
Yeah.
Okay, let me get Sydney's favorite weapon.
Flashlight.
You can turn it on.
Who are you with?
My daughter.
Oh, hi, babe.
She says hi.
Hi.
She's saying hi. Look, say hi. See, she's saying hi.
She's gonna go
Your
out with you tonight.
daughter?
I'm sorry. What, Sydney?
She's going out with you guys tonight.
Yeah, she's gonna be with me.
Please take care of her.
Oh, I
I
know.
was
I
just gonna
will.
say, you're
Trust me,
taking
I
your
will.
daughter investigating?
Yeah, this is her. She's gone out with me several times.
Yeah,
She's 19. Yeah.
I've
Oh yeah. Oh
I've
yeah,
helped
you
her a
told me
couple
that.
of times.
Yeah, Sydney's the one that has brought her out of a situation.
I'm her
Yeah.
mentor. I am her mentor. Oh, my back is hurting.
Oh, okay.
There you go, guys, right there.
Oh.
Oh, okay. That's the
When
singer dude that you're talking about.
yeah,
Yep.
when we went over there, we had turned all the necrophonics up, and it sweeps through AM FM frequencies, so you hardly ever really get good responses out of these apps and these spirit boxes. Well, I said, can you play some songs for us? And one of his songs actually came through the spirit box.
Oh
Wow.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Really?
Yep.
Wow. That must have been awesome.
It was, especially because he was one of my
Was that
favorite
again?
piano singers.
Oh what?
Was that Kimmy, was that again?
Uh-huh.
About 4 times?
What do you mean 4 times?
I saw a post about 4 times. Same thing, as always.
Oh, and if y'all wanted to know, the things that feed the San Antonio, I mean the missions, you know that we have trouts that feed the missions. That's part of the trout right here.
Oh wow.
That's the water that connects all the missions together.
Ooh. Hmm.
It comes all the way from Espada Dam all the way down this way.
All right, beautiful people. Well, I am still worn out from yesterday. I worked today. I got to work again tomorrow.
Ooh.
I'm sleepy, so I'm going to call it a night. Thank you for having
Well,
me on.
Thanks
thank you for coming on.
It was fun.
Wanted to hear about all that.
The party's just starting. You can't leave, Sydney.
She partied out.
I am partied out.
Reggie always gives me that. Where are you going?
Are y'all guys gonna stay up to watch Anthony's live?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go to the store, go get me something
Have a good
to
night,
drink real
Sydney.
quick.
Thank you. If Papa Wraith asks, tell him I couldn't do it. I'm tired.
All right.
Oh
Bye,
yeah.
guys.
All right.
Love y'all.
Good night,
Bye.
Love you. Love you. Ah.
Demi, I'm gonna message him telling him I'm close by that I'm just gonna go to the store real quick.
What time's he gonna be? Is he gonna be doing live from out there?
And that's a good question because I really don't know the answer.
Oh boy,
Mm-hmm.
'cause I don't know how late I'm gonna stay up either.
Where are you guys going?
You're going
To the mission here.
the same one you were at last night?
No, different one. I'm like literally like maybe 5-10 minutes away from the mission.
Listen, bye, Sydney. About
So
what time?
What did Anthony get a hotel for the
Maybe
weekend?
here about 10:30, maybe 11, the latest. I think so because he had something to do down here. If I'm thinking correctly, if I remember.
He just came back and said the cave.
I think he was gonna go down that way, but I think he was down here for something else. Now there's a house in front of me that's abandoned, and it's not. I mean, it feels weird. This house, and there's no access to get into it. We tried going into the other part of it, and that other part of it, like an extended house, like a shed almost, and
Right where you
you can't.
are?
Yeah, you can feel the energy out of that house and stuff like that. It just feels kind of like you're drawn to it, like come and check me out, kind of thing.
Hmm.
Hmm.
And it's vacant?
Yes.
Hmm.
Senor.
He said here in a bit.
Yeah, I told him.
Okay.
Shit. I haven't used my tablet for like everything and everything. Like my first time doing it. Because I'm chatting with y'all on my phone, and I usually do everything on my phone.
Brian wants
I
to
don't
know
know
what
if
you.
you.
I'm sorry, say that one more time.
Brian was wanting to know what Greg was eating.
Oh.
Strawberry shortcake.
Oh.
I just had some of that.
Good humor.
Mm.
I like the chocolate eclairs, but this is
Oh yeah,
okay.
those are good. He said he just picked up Lurker.
Okay. I'm gonna send him the location right now.
Okay. Oh, that's not fair.
And
Run
what's
into
really
the store.
what's right down the
Nancy's.
street. What's right
Go
down the
ahead.
street from where I was at was the like okay, we know it as the old sane asylum, but it was actually a boys correctional facility, and also a TB hospital.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
And that place is
That,
haunted. I had the privilege of actually getting access to that building and got to investigate it, and oh man, that place is something else.
that
Hmm.
would be a place to investigate. I'll tell you
It
that.
it, it
What?
is, and you can, and there's a lot of things that you can hear in there, and you can feel the
Uh,
emotions and stuff.
Right.
And so,
What's the name of the place, Pete?
I have to look it up here in a minute. Give me 1 second. I
Okay,
forgot what it's called.
I gotta find it then.
Poor
It tells
Nancy.
you, and I live here.
Good night, Liz. Love you.
Good night, Liz.
Thank you
Good
for
night,
coming
Liv.
by. Bye bye.
Good to see you. Have a good evening.
I like that orange.
Okay. I'm trying to look for it on my GPS because
So what's Reggie been up to?
that's
Working.
trash.
Oh, work, work, work.
Hmm.
Oh, it's this way. Shane, go this way. Go to the
He
right.
works a lot of hours at that place, doesn't he?
Yeah.
It's called Bear County's Juvenile Home for Boys. That's what it technically was called.
What's it?
But when I
How do you spell the first name?
Bear Bexar.
Bexer.
That's how we say it. We say it Bear, but it's Bexar.
Okay.
Oh,
The
home for
X's.
boys. But if you go in there, if you go into the place, there's actually records and stuff like that from the TB hospital. From when it was a TB
Here.
hospital. You didn't get down for a little bit to go get something.
Wow.
So yeah, and then so they would treat people basically, from my information that I know, is for TB, of course, and the way they would do certain things, it's kind of weird. They would use electrodes and just different things like that.
Right.
And the old bathtubs, I don't know if you ever seen the old bathtubs where it would be all metal and just out in the open. That's what they have there.
Oh, and they put them in it with ice. What they used to do.
Uh,
Mhm.
I think so. I'm not too
Ice.
sure if they did all that.
They
Yeah.
actually even went ahead and cut the chests open
Yes, yes,
Ooh.
yes.
and open up all the ribs so that people could breathe.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Yep.
We have a bunch of them up, from here, Indiana, Ohio.
Uh-huh.
They're all ones that I've been to.
Good night, Miss
Wow.
Barbara.
Pardon me?
That's on night to Barbara.
Oh, good night, Barbara.
Yeah. Those places they say is very active.
There's a lot of them,
Mhm.
and
We're
you
supposed to
can
have
only
one
feel
yesterday, you know,
sorry for the people.
Mm-hmm.
We got layer upon layer upon layer.
I ended up. They thought they. It was in the military. What year was this? 95, 94, 93, 94.
Yeah.
They thought they were trying to say I had TB. All my tests came back. Well, the first two doctors said I had psychoidosis. No T. They never even said anything about TB. They said I had psychoidosis. They said, "Oh, you got psychoidosis. What's that?" And then all of a sudden,
I'll be right back. I'm gonna go pee.
this one doctor, and they shipped me to all the way to Bethesda, and all of a sudden they put me in isolation. I was there 2 weeks, and this group of doctors was saying, "Oh, we think it's TB." TB. I already had TB shot, negative. And then this guy comes in with this big fat tube, dangling it. And I said, "And what do you think now?" This is back some years, and I always been a Spitfire. So I said, "And what do you think you're going to do with that?" Because the way he came in the room, and he's dangling it, looking at me. This big guy. They're all Colemans because it's military. And so I said, "What do you think you're going to do with that?" He said, "Well, I need some sputum. And if you can't give it to me, this is going down your throat and I'm going to get some." I said, "No, the hell you're not." "No, you're not." So he said, "Well, if you can give me some, then we don't have to go that route." So he told me to spit in the cup. Now I'm not one to spit. I don't spit. So he said, "Spit in the cup." So I regularly I took the cup and I just spit in the cup. Regular to spit in the cup. He said, "No, no, 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 no. No, not like that." 1 minute. He says, "No, that's wrong. You got to spit all the way from here." I said, "Huh?" He said, "Yeah, all the way from here. You got to pull it up, the mucus from here up, and spit in the cup." And I was just looking at this guy, and I said, "I'm a woman. I don't do that. I don't know how to do that." You know what I mean? I wouldn't even know how to even do that.
Right.
I don't go around doing that.
You just get a loogie up and you spit it. I was kidding.
Yeah, that's what he's telling me. That's what he was telling me. So I'm like, yeah, a loogie.
You go.
So I'm like, no, I don't know how to do it. I don't spit like that. I don't spit. So I'm just looking at him like he's crazy, and he's dangling that thing. I said, "Don't even come near me, because you're not sticking that down my throat. I'm telling you right now. You're going to have a fight." Because, I mean, it was fat, Greg. It was like the size of a hose. No way are you getting me with that thing. So he said, "Well, I'll make a deal with you. I'm going to leave this cup here. When you wake up, first thing in the morning, soon as you sit up, make yourself cough. As you're sitting up, make yourself cough, but try to pull it from your chest." So I did. And I got very little tiny bit, right? But I did what he said. I did what he said. So I got a little bit. So he looked at it and he's like, I said, "You're not sticking that hose down my throat." I said, "So you're going to have to send that to the lab. You asked me to do You asked me to do that. I did it. That's what I got. Send it to the lab.
Right, right.
So he sent it to the lab. Then he stood there a little longer. It was early in the morning. And he had me, what did he have me drink? Salt water, something like that. And it made me all yucky. So
That's all
I
you got.
ended up, that's how I got it again. Yeah. So he got more to the cup because he didn't want him to send it away and have to put that tube down my throat. I mean, he did have some compassion. He was showing compassion after that. So it worked, and he sent that to the lab. I had to do that 4 days in a row. It was
Wow.
supposed to be 3. It was only supposed to be 3. It ended up being 4 because they said one of the days it wasn't enough. All of it came out negative.
That's good.
They did the test in my arm, negative. Then it's like these people wanted me to have it or something.
Huh?
Then they set me up for a bronchoscopy, I think they call it. I think they call it. I think they call it a bronchoscopy. They go up your nose, each nostril. One's a camera, and another one is the clipper. So they did that. I had no idea what this test was. Now, my husband was a corpsman. He knew. My mother knew. Everybody knew, but nobody told me what I was in for. So early the next morning, they brought me all the way down because Bethesda Hospital, I don't know if you ever seen it, but it's huge and a bunch of floors. They brought me down, and then they got this.
Excuse me.
They had me go through hell, Greg. They had this syringe with a bunch of jelly. Like it was full of like jelly, like gel for your hair or something is what it looked like. And they were pushing it in my nose, and I had to sniff it at the same time they were pushing it. And I'm over here gagging and throwing up at the same time because I got wicked gag reflux. I don't care.
Yeah.
But what it was that
No,
stuff
I'm not.
in the thing was to numb me on my nose and down. It was to numb me for when they put all that down. I didn't know that. So they said I had to sniff that vial in each nostril, a vial.
Oh God.
That took forever for me to do that. There was one girl calling. She was so nice. She was on the side of me. She was holding my hand, rubbing my hand. Really nice. Trying to get me through it. Because that's a tough test. Then, all of a sudden, they get it done. And there was something else they put in my nose after the jelly stuff. It was something else they squirted with the long tube. They squirted something else up there. Anyway, then they put those up. So as they go up, I don't care how much of that I sniff. It was supposed to numb it. As soon as they got up, all the way up here, and they had to turn to go down, it felt like it was scraping, like
Sorry.
it felt like it was scraping me raw. And then they went down like that, and then all of a sudden I felt it going in my throat, and I'm like, "Ugh, ugh, ugh, ugh." Then they had to go up with the second one and down. Now I'm claustrophobic, so I'm feeling like amnesia attacks. They should have gave me Valium or something before this test. So the girl is like trying to talk to me and everything. They got a TV screen there, and they're like, "Oh, you can watch us," like trying to get my mind off it. And I'm like, I don't want to watch nothing. Just, I couldn't even talk because the tubes, but I was trying. And I'm like, just hurry up. Get this out of me. It took 50 minutes for that whole test. I was laying there with these tubes. They took 6 biopsies off each side
Oh
on my
God.
lungs. 6 biopsies off each side of my lungs. It's like, what do you people want me to have this or something? Like, they all came out negative.
Good.
All negative.
Good.
I'm doing all these tests come out negative, and these doctors still weren't satisfied. Still weren't satisfied. Oh, if we had to put money on it, you got TB.
No.
What else kind of test do I gotta take? I do not have it. It's like the other 2 doctors already said psychoidosis. And I did my own research while I was there. And I mean, you could see, if you look up psychoidosis, you look up this TB, they're very similar,
Yes.
but different. They just have different effects, or it's not what I want to say.
One kills you a little faster than the other one does.
I don't know.
Now that's
Well,
what they used to say. That what the TB, tuberculosis,
Right.
is a very, very long death.
Mm-hmm.
oh yeah. Well, there was the outbreak of TB on the base.
Oh,
That's
was
why
it?
they were pretty short. Yeah. There was a girl that came from the Philippines. Now, when we go overseas, we can't even have a cavity. They won't send us. Everything is going to be top notch. They will not send us anywhere, not even your family. Everybody
You
in the
gotta have
household
a
is going to be,
shot.
Were you military?
yeah, that was his wife,
Yeah,
military
but I
wife
mean,
for umpteen years.
yeah, but I mean, you weren't real military, were you?
No, my
Like I
husband was.
Okay.
Oh,
My husband was. I was
Guys,
just the wife.
yeah,
you
just
gonna
like
miss
us.
him?
I was just curious,
But if
because
you,
I thought I
if
remember you saying something probably maybe a year and a half ago, maybe 2 years ago, pertaining to the Army, and I thought, oh wow,
Navy,
Navy. Well,
yeah,
maybe you were in. I didn't know. So
no, he was in. The they do not send us overseas because we were supposed to go to Puerto Rico.
Like him?
You can't have a cavity, nothing. You got to be top notch before they send you over. And it's because of medical. It's harder to get medical over there. So they want to make sure you're all the way all set. The thing is, when they send them over here, they don't have them top notch. They don't go through them like they go through us. When we
yeah,
go over there, they don't do that when they come over here. Well, this one guy, his wife came over from the Philippines. Whole outbreak on the base.
holy crap.
This was in Southern Tip, Maryland, the Tuxet River. It's an isolated duty station. Whole outbreak at his work, it was all over the place.
Wasn't that close to where
And
Tesla had his plant?
She was walking around with a dish towel, coughing into this dish towel
Blood?
constantly all over the base.
Was it blood?
I don't know. I wasn't looking at it. I didn't
Oh,
want it near me.
that's what happens. You literally drowned. You know, that's how you die from TB.
Well,
Yeah, from coughing up blood.
they ended up, what they ended up doing was still said, well, if we have to put money on it, you got it. What else do I got to prove? I don't got it. I just did every test there was, including that bronchoscopy, which is biopsies off all my lungs, and they're all negative. Like, what the hell else do you want? So these doctors were like, well, now this is how crooked they are. That's the military for you. Well, if we had to put money on it, that's what you got. But the only way we can get you medicine is, even though everything's negative,
To go
you
on
have to
for
sign this paper so the government pays for your medication. I said, but I don't have it. So why am I going to take this medication? Why am I signing this paper? I don't have it. It's all proven. Yeah, but you know how they work together as a group in Bethesda.
Yeah.
So they're like, well, we talked and we believe that you do, and within a month, 2 months, you're going to be full blown.
Oh God.
I mean, everything is negative. The shot, the sputum, the bronchoscopy, everything. What the hell else do I got to prove to you? So where do you see that I'm going to be with TB in a month or two?
Maybe they were thinking you were going to become a fighter pilot or something.
I don't know what the hell they were thinking. But they're like, well, the only thing, the reason why I did what I did was because my son lived in the hospital most of his life, severely asthmatic. He was born premature lungs. And if that got into him, it would have killed him.
How old is
And
he
they're
now?
like, yeah, he's grown. He's in his 30s. But
Oh, he's a man though,
he-
right?
yeah, but he still lives.
Lung wise, well, you have to have an inhalator. You have to have an inhalator. That's all.
He still lives on this, and he still has a machine. Still. So
It's better than the
I
alternative.
wasn't doing that. So they said, well, we believe you do, blah, 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 blah. So you got to sign this paper so we can get you meds and you'll be all set. So the government will pay for your meds. I signed the paper. I got the medicine. Now, there's only 3 meds that you take. One is called INH. It's the biggest one for TB. INH. Well, I ended up allergic to it. I broke out like a strawberry all over my body.
And hives?
No, it was like little prickly, bright red
Oh God.
spots from head to toe. And they're
Jeez.
like, we have never, I mean, it was red like this.
Yeah.
And it was all over. They were like, we have never seen this before. So they're like, how are we going to treat you? So they had to call all over the place and have all these different doctors get together and say, how are we going to treat this woman? Long story short, from 3 pills a day, I was on 19 pills a day.
Yeah.
from 3 to 19.
Yeah.
And I had to, instead of taking them for 6 months, I had to take them for 18 months. And as soon as I took those pills, I took them at night before I went to bed. I rolled up in a ball and prayed I didn't throw those pills up because that's what
So you get
they
past
made
the
me.
throwing up and the gagging and stuff, please.
They just, as soon as I took them, I wanted to throw up. They made me sick to my stomach. So I was in a ball. As soon as and I mean, it took me like, I don't know how long just to take all those pills. They're big horse pills. Every night. I mean, I went through hell. So then we moved back here. He gets out of the military. We move back here. So they set me up with a specialist here,
Yeah.
a lung specialist. Well, guess what?
You got TB again.
Donna Potlow don't even have TB. And the doctor was pissed that I was even on that medication.
Yep. That happens.
And I was to immediately stop it. That I should have never been on that medication.
I am. There's so many people, Donna, that are just like you, that are on medications they shouldn't be on. And the only thing you could do is you could go in, or you could have somebody take them in and say, how many of these do I need? And then you find out that half of the medications you're on, you don't need.
Well, it caused neuropathy in my legs from those 19 pills, from my toes all the way up to the middle of my thighs, just from those pills. And in both of my hands. Both my hands and then most of my legs. Just from those pills. And I knew something was off. We were still out there because my toes were numb. And I said to my husband, why the heck is my toes numb? I mean, I was just playing around and I could take like pliers or whatever and go like that to my big toe. And he's like, are you crazy? I said, I can't feel it. That's what I'm trying to tell you. I cannot feel it. So then once we moved back here, I take a shower. I'm getting out of the shower and I'm trying to dry off. And I'm drying my legs and I can't feel my legs. That's how fast it progressed up my legs already. I couldn't even feel the towel on my legs. It was crazy. And that was a side effect. So, yeah. Military, I don't trust. They wanted to do knee surgery on me so bad when they had me. I said, oh, no. When he gets out, when I get home, I told him, and he's out of the military, I'll have knee surgery. Not until. They wanted to do it so bad. I was like, no,
We get you coming and going.
Mm-hmm. And everybody forgets those are teaching doctors. They're not real. They're only teaching.
Yeah.
Or learning doctors, whatever. Not teaching doctors, learning doctors. They're not real. They're still students. So
I started going to a different chiropractor. We're still alive, aren't we?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And it was totally different.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they have a big machine that you lay on,
Mm-hmm.
and it can arc in different ways to go ahead, and then punch you, so that if you have parts that are out, they go back in. So
Yeah,
by
I
the
just
time
saw somebody. I just saw somebody back there. Go ahead.
and there,
Yep, way in the back. Yep,
right back there,
it was the girl.
and they it was like, you got to be kidding. I couldn't believe that she did all
A
that.
lot better.
Well, it
A lot better.
was my neck. My neck is still bad, and
Yeah.
but they sent me into the hospital now. I can't do it outpatient like in the community anymore. They brought us all in from the community, and it's only a matter of time before I go back out. But it's been crazy. It's been a joke. I don't know why we have to do that kind of stuff. I had people taking care of me for 3.5 years. Of course, it's never going to be fixed. You know what I mean? Just like your problems, they're never going to be fixed. This is what you have to live with for the rest of your life.
Yeah.
And she went ahead and she looked at me. She says, "Well, I can get you mobile." Well, she got me mobile, and by the time I left that afternoon, it was like
Yeah.
just got off a horse.
Mm.
And because of the pain, it makes these bones here, and it's easier for me to walk like this. So my head's forward, where my
Yeah.
head back here. So
Yeah.
I gotta work on all this stuff now, and it's like, okay, but it's
Jeez.
just like, never leave you alone.
Yeah.
It's one thing right after another. It's 10:44. What time are you guys gonna stay on till?
Well, they're supposed to go live. What's
Yeah,
going on, Pete?
I'm waiting for Anthony. He said he was coming already.
Well, give me a couple minutes. I'm going to leave, and then I'll see you guys on the live. Okay. Thank you very much for having me on.
Thanks for hopping on.
I don't think
Yeah, thank you.
I don't think I made too much sense tonight, but
Yeah, you did.
a lot of times I don't make any sense at all.
Yes, you did.
Did you guys watch the show last night?
Uh-huh.
What did you think of it? What do you think of Jeff Rusman?
Oh, your show or the live? Anthony's live?
I had Jeff Rusman and his wife Nancy.
Oh, okay.
And they're two of the older Chicago people, and they're all ITC.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I don't think that.
And
No.
he is the one. Talk about a crazy story. He is the one where I was on. You have a post, and you have those little tables that go around the post. And I was on one of those, and I had my bag open, and I had my spirit box out, and I was getting everything ready because I was going to speak.
Mm.
I'm getting all my stuff ready, and all of a sudden this guy comes out of nowhere and just comes up and says, "Hey, what are you doing? Is that an SB7?" And I said, "Yeah." He goes, he introduces himself. He says, my name is Jeff Rusman. He says, I heard that you've been doing this for a while. He says, you know how to do this and that. And I went, "Well, do you have to do that?" And he says, "That box is yours. That box doesn't belong to anybody else. You don't even use anybody. You don't give it to anybody to use.
Mm.
It's like your telephone. It's like your cell phone.
Mm-hmm.
It's your own piece, so that when you start to speak to spirit knows who you are."
Oh.
And I went, "What?" You know, because your guys are always around you. You know, they're there. They're
Right.
watching. You know, things are happening, and you're talking and working on your phone or your SB7. You know, you have to ask them to bring people to the front of the room. You can't sit there and listen to those people in the back that hardly make any sense because you can't hear them right.
Right.
So that was one of the first things, and there were so many other things you brought to the forefront as far as that our end of the investigation with anything with the Estes or anything like that.
So what's he trying to say? Like, don't let anybody else use your box. Your box should be your box.
Yes.
Oh, that makes a lot of sense.
Well,
That makes a lot of sense.
there's so many people. I try to put nothing but positive energy
Uh-huh.
into my boxes.
So this way, it's only your energy, nobody else's.
Right. So if you go to an event like I did last year, and my my job that afternoon was I had two of my boxes, I had two sets of headphones, and I would let people experience the Estes method.
Yeah.
Okay, but they're using my headphones and my
Yep.
boxes. And by the time it was all over, I had one pair of headphones and the other ones were broken.
Oh.
And nobody's going to sit there and go ahead and say, "Hey, Greg,
No.
here's $100 for a new pair of headphones."
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Right.
So you're stuck between a rock and a hard place. And that event had Tim Woolworth there, and Tim Miley, and a bunch of other people that I know. And these guys are so good. But Tim Woolworth pulls out his old Frank's box. This is at the very end of the show, and we're on. I had him on as a guest, and he turns the box on. And he's got an SB7 running, and he starts out by going ahead and saying, "Hey guys, how's everybody? Who's here with us?" And they just start talking.
Wow.
And then he goes ahead and he says, "Oh, by the way," he goes, "Who's with me? Who's with me on this screen right now?" And plain as day, it just comes right through and it goes, "Greg Koss."
Wow.
Wow.
And I mean, it wasn't any hesitation. There was nothing. And he says, "That's because everything you're using is yours."
Yep.
Wow.
Your energy. You shouldn't let nobody touch your stuff.
So, you know, whenever you get involved in anything like that with your show, and people, you know, you get to the point where people go, "Well, that's stupid." You know, no, it's not.
No, it's not. No.
And
That's just like,
it's not practical. In other words,
no.
they want to have an opportunity to use it, and you know,
Well,
if you got a group box of equipment, that's different.
yeah, but it's just like, I know it's a tool, but that's just like your crystals. Nobody's supposed to touch them.
Right.
Nobody. Oh, Donna, let me see. Let me see. No, sorry, you can't touch them.
Kind of like with
Has
your
to be only
tarot cards.
my
and-
energy, tarot
Right.
cards, oracle cards,
No,
my
nobody can
dowsing rods.
nobody can do that with him either.
Nope.
You see,
Nobody's supposed to
who does
touch
that look-
anything.
who does that look like?
Is that
Your giraffe. Your giraffe.
Thank you.
Your spirit animal.
Well, that's
Um.
I just got that today as a gift
Oh yeah.
from Sandy Frankowski, because she says
Oh.
she's got it. It's the only giraffe that she's seen.
Oh.
Might go with my
But
other giraffes.
it's the same thing, like with your crystals, um, any of your stones.
Any of your
Like,
jewelry, your metals.
everything. Everything is your energy. Nobody should even touch it. Not even your wife.
Right.
Even though she's your wife, doesn't matter. It's your energy. It should be only your energy. That's
Yes.
it. Nobody should touch anything.
It's unbelievable how far we've come in the paranormal community, and still have things like that happen. You know, the
Yep.
people are just coming in. Nobody's training them. Nobody's having them understand what has to be done, what's
Hmm.
right, what's wrong, what's respectful, what's not. Cemeteries.
People, they still let others use their tools, you know, their ghost box, their, I don't know the names of the things, 'cause I don't use any tools but me. But I still see people let people use their tools,
Oh yeah.
and they're not supposed to because
Well,
it's only supposed to be their energy. They're supposed to cleanse it. Like it comes in a box. You buy it from Amazon, whatever. You cleanse it, right? You cleanse it with Palo Santo, whatever. And then when you're done, it's your energy and only your energy. That's it. Because when you cleanse it, you're cleansing, you say clear all energy, only leave mine. And then
see,
after that, it's only yours.
even your box, even the box that you keep all your gear in, or half
Uh
your
huh.
gear in, if you take that to a location and somebody
Yep.
else, while you're busy, somebody else goes over and just picks one of your boxes up or anything like that, and their energy is totally different than yours, you can end up with a real issue.
Yep.
By the time you go home and you open your box at the house, and all of a sudden two of the pieces that are inside the equipment box start going off,
Yeah.
and you
Because they
never
were
had it.
touched by,
I've never had anything go off in her.
yeah.
I do know, and I do agree with you when it comes to that kind of stuff. You know,
Yeah. Because
Donna,
others touched it.
but
Others
it's
touched it.
or there's good and there's bad. Like we say, you got to have good and you got to have bad together. That's
Uh
what
huh.
creates those scenarios. So I
Yeah.
don't doubt it. At least I just
Yeah.
I just want to keep on going and you know stay with good people because good people make you a good investigator.
Yeah.
You can't investigate constantly with people that really don't know what they're doing. If you're teaching them, that's one thing, but
Yeah.
then that's two people that need to go a little different way from
Right.
the rest of the force. Where I just strictly, if I go in, like we'll go back to the roads coming up pretty soon, and when we go back, we'll have 10 people in there, and out of those 10 people, I just do my thing, and everybody else does their thing, and it all complements each other, and
Yeah.
people are not doing the same frigging thing.
Yep.
I love to be able to sit down and do the stuff like Reggie does all night long. What happened? Well, you putting the dead body in the back seat?
Yeah, we're going to right now.
Is it in the carpet, or how did you put it? Is that Lurker with you? No, he's not answering. No,
Who's that
this
right
is
there?
like
Who do you think that is?
this is like a TV show.
Right.
It's Anthony.
That's Anthony. You're on live.
Hey, what took you so long?
He wants to know what took you so long.
Who's that?
Greg.
We were on the other
Still
side of
on.
town.
Still on. Echoes in the wind.
I thought you said you can speed wherever you want to speed.
Anthony.
She's calling you.
Anthony.
She's calling you.
He
He
has
can't hear you.
headphones on, Donna.
Lurker's behind him.
Yeah, look, it's right there.
Yeah,
guys.
he's hiding behind him. There he is.
Data, but here I am.
Here.
Tell
How
tell
do you
Anthony. Tell
What did
Anthony
they
he's
tell him?
still on. Tell Anthony he's still on Echoes in the Wind.
Oh, he knows. I told him right now.
Oh,
He just barely got here, so I'm gonna have to let y'all go for right now.
Yeah, I
Okay,
think
And
she's supposed
so we're
to.
going backstage.
so y'all just be on the lookout. We'll probably go. I'll probably go live on my page and Race Nexus here. Hello.
Thank you
Okay.
very much for having me on here. I'm gonna go back to
Thanks for
mine.
hopping on.
Okay.
yes,
Bye. I'll
thank
see y'all
you. All
guys.
We'll see
right,
you guys
thank you,
later.
Bye.
everybody. Good night,
Bye.
Good
everyone.
night. Good night, everybody.
Good night. Thanks, Greg.